Right, I'm good. Are we live? I think we are. Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat Live. The Premier League returns. This is our first game of the weekend, but we've already seen loads of action throughout the Premier League. This is our first match, though. It's Brighton versus Newcastle. Should be an absolute belter. We've got Brighton, who have had a good start of the season, but last week were embarrassed away at home to West Ham. That was not a great result. Them losing 3-1 to the Hammers, and then Newcastle, well, they've opened the season very strong, a 5-1 win against Aston Villa. Since then, losses to City and Liverpool mean they've only claimed 3 points from 3 games, so big improvements needed. Going to be exciting either way. Harry, are you excited for this one?
I am. Football can be cruel. As a Chelsea fan, learned that today.
Yes,
Newcastle, they learnt the lesson last week. They want to amend what happened at St James's Park in this game, so they are going to want to bounce back. With a victory, as you say, it's been very mixed for the Toon. For Brighton, they look good at football, but then they got battered by West Ham. Are West Ham this paranormal football team?
No.
Or did Brighton just have a bad day at the office?
No, West Ham aren't. West Ham are very good at what they do, but they don't play very good football. I don't like the way they play football, but it gets results.
Average.
But against Luton, they were the worst side, which is mental. Yeah. Obviously, they still won it, though. I mean, they did get helped out with the fact the ref didn't award a penalty at the end.
But two sides that are going to want a win here, but this is not an easy game. Especially, for Brighton, I feel like they want the win. Yeah. For Newcastle, it's been a tough run of games. Really horrible opening first few fixtures. We're streaming them for the 4th time. We've seen all
covered every Newcastle game.
And they've only picked up 1 win.
And Brentford next week isn't a whole lot easier, and they're not in great form at the moment.
And with the teams as close as it is, I mean, last week at St James's Park proved to us that football is never over until that final whistle. Because what we saw last week shouldn't have happened. It was a bizarre game. Newcastle will learn from that and they won't make that same mistake tonight. Brighton have got to be aware of that. But they won't make the same mistake. Oh my days. They won't make the same mistake as they did last weekend by having loads of the ball and doing nothing with it and letting West Ham score 3.
Fair enough. Caden Holloman, welcome to the stream. All right, lads, welcome, Caden. Chelsea fans saying, hi, it was a waste of my money. I'm so done. Welcome to the stream, mate. And yes, I'm also losing patience. I don't know with Chelsea anymore. It just feels like I was always on the Fox train. I still am. But it just feels like whatever we do, it's doomed to fail. But yeah, I still think we'll turn around this season. I think it's just been a poor start. I'm always going to be optimistic. But yeah, I hope this game makes me happy. Yeah, I'm very excited for this game. Shall we get into the lineups?
Yeah, sure.
See who's playing in this fixture. Not too many changes for either side, but still always interesting to know exactly who's playing. We'll start with Brighton then at the home side at the Amex tonight for the game. Brighton line up in their 4-2-3-1. It's goalkeeper Wout Verbruggen making his 2nd Premier League appearance. It wasn't great last week as they lost 3-1 to West Ham. He'll be hoping to show a lot more of his quality this week. Flat back 4 then of Joel Veltman, Paul Van Hecker, Captain Dunk and Estupiñán. It's a pivot of Gruss and Billy Gilmore. In the midfield 3, March, Pedro and Mitoma. And then leading the line, it's Evan Ferguson. So a strong team, some interesting additions. Obviously, we're no Ansu Fati yet, but that is the big signing everyone's been talking about on the South Coast. So yeah, I think it's a good team.
It is a good team. It is a very strong team, but we've seen them. We know they're not at their best yet. So I think it'll be interesting if they can get firing today. They've shown spells of good play, but we can know Mitoma, March, Ferguson at their best. They're top quality players. They need to prove that tonight.
Indeed. Shall we look at the away side then? Well, they line up in a 4-3-3. In between the sticks, it's Nick Pope. No shocks there. Back 4 then of Captain Trippier, Fabian Schär, Byrne and Target. No Botman due to his injury. Midfield 3 is Tonali, Guimaraes and Joe Linton. And in the front 3, Miguel Almiron, who hasn't had a great start to the season. Anthony Gordon, who's had a brilliant start to the season. And Alex Isak, who's kept up as he was last year.
Yeah, again, as you say, I think this is the difference again. I know we haven't seen the best from Newcastle, but we've still seen really good football. Last week just came down to a case of it felt like they refused to finish the game off. They were happy at it 1-0. They had ample opportunity to kill the game off against Liverpool, and they didn't kill it off, and they got punished. And they've got to be careful tonight because they're playing against a Brighton side who I'd probably say about 60-70% of their best football. Whereas this Newcastle side, I think we're at 80-90%. So Newcastle have got to be aware of that Brighton could come out swinging tonight, especially back at the Amex. You know, a crowd that are waiting. They want to see a performance that resembles how good Brighton are and not the one that we saw against West Ham.
I was just saying, obviously the home crowd at the Amex weren't very happy with that loss to West Ham, understandably so. I think they were very, very poor. It wasn't a great performance from them. They just really struggled to get on top of the ball, keep the ball against West Ham, and obviously West Ham are very good, you know, putting the pressure on and hassling defenders, but they should have dealt better with that. And they're going to have that amplified tonight because Newcastle are a fantastic pressing team. Do you think that could cause problems for Brighton trying to play out from the back?
I think it definitely could. And Paul Van Hecker is really interesting me. He's obviously been brought into the 11 tonight. You know, it's not quite the calm, composed head that we saw of Levi Colwill last year. You know, the experience. Yes, Lewis Dunk is experienced, but is he a top quality centre half? I think there's an argument to be had there. And as I said, you know, Van Hecker, very young, very raw, new to the Premier League. He's going to have to adapt, and having to adapt against Alex Isak is not an easy task.
Yeah, obviously he has got minutes in the Premier League before Paul Van Hecker. I think last season he made 8 appearances. This season he's already made 1 appearance. He played in the Luton game on the opening day. So again, Brighton's system is to integrate players slowly into the first team. That's part of how they develop them. Obviously, they buy them, then they give them a very specific loan deal which works for that individual player, and then they bring them back into the first team setup and slowly integrate them in. We saw it with Mitoma as he started to get minutes in the first half of last season. Then in the second half, he exploded because he started playing every game because Trossard left. And I think we'll see the same now with Paul Van Hecker. Obviously, there's no Levi Colwill in there to take minutes from him, so a lot of minutes for him to get this season. I think he will start to show his quality.
Yeah, it was see. I think maybe for me, I might have gone Adam Webster just for tonight. You know, it's a challenging game.
Webster's been playing right back, hasn't he? Obviously.
That is a strange one, I think.
Why?
I don't know. I wouldn't play Adam Webster right. I don't think he's a right back. I think everything about him is a centre half. He's tall. He
did play centre half in the West Ham game, and that evidently wasn't great. Him and Milner on the right hand side.
Why changed Milner?
Struggled.
Who's playing right back today?
Veltman.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense, yeah.
In the game against Wolves, it was again Milner at right back and Webster at centre half. And then on the opening day, it was.
I'd say this game could be close. I'd say it's been interesting. But who knows what's happened? Because so far, in the first 4 game weeks of the season, everything's happened. You know, today, Bournemouth feel like they're going to get their first win of the season. Brentford pegged it back. Tottenham put 5 past Burnley. Chelsea lost to Forest. City put 5 past Fulham. Sheffield United got a point in the Premier League. Crazy.
Everyone got a point in the Premier League.
Everyone got. It's insanity. West Ham somehow look crazy at football. I don't understand it. And now I'm watching Ansu Fati get announced as a Brighton player, which I mean is great deal. Once he's able to play, obviously not available today, but once he's available next week, I think he's very.
It'll be interesting to see him and how he adapts to the Premier League, because I don't know if it's suited to his play style, but then equally he's very similar profile to players like Mitoma. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whether he can adapt. I think the only difference is obviously Mitoma is one of the best dribblers in the world, if not the best. There's definitely an argument to be had there. Fati doesn't really have that. Fati was always known as a bit of an explosive winger, and since his injury, he's really lost that pace. So for Fati, he's really got to try and reinvent his game style. Maybe learning under Mitoma, which feels a bit weird, but maybe learning under Mitoma could be.
He wrote an essay about it, so
exactly.
Just try to read that.
Yeah. You'll lose us for us, no surprise whatsoever. Yeah, I know, Junior. I mean, you saying that it feels like a day that's a bit mental. I don't know if it does. I feel like I could have predicted all of this coming into the weekend. You know, Sheffield United, Everton drawing, they're both really average. Chelsea losing, that seems to happen every week at the moment. City crushing Fulham, that's not really that shocking.
And to be fair, to give Tottenham credit, they actually look good at football.
They look ridiculously good.
I mean, Son through the middle today scoring a hat-trick, and a Burnley side who are no slouches. But they have struggled, but
their fixtures have been horrible.
They have been,
So far, they've played an informed Aston Villa side. They've played Manchester City and they've played Tottenham. I wouldn't say that either any of their games they should have won.
Yeah, but I mean, tonight could go either way. I think if we're I think I would say St James's Park. I'd favour Newcastle, but look at last week. Newcastle was so much better than Liverpool, and Darwizzi came on and scored 2 in the last 10-15 minutes in a game that Newcastle should have probably won up 4-0.
A bloke who's got more songs than Premier League goals comes on.
It's crazy.
Not saying he's not a good goal scorer. That guy's just read a fucking lot of songs. Yeah. But yeah, we are close to kick-off now. Should we get some predictions for today's game?
As I said, I don't know which way to go. I honestly don't know. Do you want to go first?
You know what? Sure, mix it up. That's a bit weird. It feels a bit weird, but I will go. I mean, it's a difficult one to call, really, isn't it? Both sides definitely could come away with a win. Okay, do you want to go
first again? I will go 2-1 Brighton.
Okay.
2-1 Brighton. They will take the early advantage through Mitoma. Isak will level it up, and then it will be a goal from Lewis Hall off the bench. Just so Chelsea fans feel even worse.
Fair enough. I'll go 3-0 Newcastle.
Wow.
I think Brighton looked really poor against West Ham, and I think Newcastle, while they have struggled in the last 2 games, they were against City and Liverpool, and I think that they will show that quality they did against Villa in the game tonight.
I think it'll be sitting in a similar boat to the Liverpool game. Newcastle will look the better side, but just not get the result across the line, and it'll be question marks of Eddie Howe. How can he get these 3 points for his 2 inside?
I don't know if them playing well and not finishing their chances really lies on Eddie Howe, though. That's
well, no, he'll be the one who has to think about how to fix it.
Wilson.
But Isak looks good. Like, Isak's been scoring. And you know, one player, to be fair, that's one player I'm very interested in tonight is Anthony Gordon. He's looked very, very good so far in the first 3 games. He's going to cause a problem running at Veltman.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to... It's going to be interesting. Veltman's experience, but also natural.
We've always known Gordon's a really exciting player, and I think that now that he's settled into life at Newcastle, he can really start to show that. You know, he had a lot of talent. That was very raw, and he still does have a little bit of an element of that diamond in the rough. Really, needs a bit of refinement. Yeah. But he's a player I've never really rated before, but has had a really good start to this season. If he keeps playing like he is, he's gonna fly. He looks really exciting. Yeah. I mean, he's so explosive, fantastic pace.
He gives me 2 things. He gives me... I think he's one of those on-form players. If it's not his day, it's not his day. But if it is his day, it is going to be the best day of his life.
But I mean, if he can start hitting the ground running...
Yeah, I think... I think we've seen across the year and a half he's now been at Newcastle, Eddie Howe is he's ironing out his attitude issues. They don't want him bringing him off and he's kicking off on the bench, or don't want him moaning. Just got to cut that all out and just focus on playing football. And that seems to be working.
Yeah, and obviously with no Sir Maximin at the club, there's no real competition there. Barnes is there, which... Do you think we'll start to see Harvey Barnes starting? I mean, I can't justify it now, but could that be a potential problem for Gordon?
And I think it would have put the pressure on if he has a run of bad games, and Eddie Howe will go, I've got Harvey bloody Barnes on my bench, I'm just going to put him in.
Obviously, there will be a lot of rotation. Champions League football comes to Newcastle in 3 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time, something like that. Yeah. We'll, of course, be live for it. I think we're going to cover every Newcastle Champions League game at this rate, because it's the most interesting group, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, finally, for Newcastle, Miguel Almiron. Question marks over him. He so nearly scored against Liverpool, but you feel he's got to step up.
I was going to say, I mean, I think last season was just a bit of a one-season wonder. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put that out there. Hopefully he proves me wrong today, but from what I can see, it does feel like he's a bit of a one-season wonder. A bit of, one campaign, absolutely flying. There's a good feeling around Newcastle. He had a great campaign. Now as they move into their second season under the new ownership, I feel like they've got to be improving on players like Miguel Almiron. And the fact that he has no competition in that role. Jacob Murphy's their backup right winger.
Yeah.
That for me doesn't work. Barnes could play on that side, doesn't really work.
On him performing, and they've got no one there. And then from a Brighton point of view, again, they need to bounce back from the West Ham result. Players like Mitoma, March need to step up the performance, because if they don't start performing, they've got young players on the bench who will come in and play well. Buonanotte, Enciso, the likes of them. Yeah. They are waiting in the wings. If these talented players on the pitch don't perform, De Zerbi, we've seen he'll happily look at the rotated side last year that went to Wolves and battered them. We know he trusts his youth prospects. He will do that if he feels it's necessary.
Yeah, I would say though that Jason Tindall's side do also have a very strong bench.
Jason Steele's a twat.
Oh, sorry, I get them mixed up with the executive manager sometimes.
That is,
sorry.
I don't mind Newcastle, but seeing him lose is hilarious.
It's funny.
And the way he shushed Klopp last week to lose is brilliant. I think questions defensively with Brighton. Verbruggen, he needs a good game.
Yeah, but I think the Brighton model, for all the praise we give it, can be really harsh. You've got to come into the Premier League and especially a goalkeeper, you can't really rotate them in at the end of games and stuff like you can with the likes of Enciso, Buonanotte, Mitoma. They just have to get thrown into the action and perform well, and there's a lot of pressure. But it'd be interesting whether he thrives on that tonight.
There's a little bit of what did Jason Steele do wrong, because I don't feel there was too much of a need to replace.
Ferguson knocks it back, and we're underway here at the Amex. No, I do agree with you there. I think for me though, that is how Brighton operate. It is about constantly turning over that squad. You can't allow anyone to get comfortable in their position.
I mean, that's poor from
Verbruggen, but they've got away with it. Estupiñán into Pedro, back to Estupiñán. Very hot potato at the moment from Brighton, and that's how to play for a Newcastle.
Right. I think it wasn't like Brighton did play their football against West Ham. They had most of the ball. They dominated the play, dominated possession. West Ham did what West Ham do, and it's complete shit out from David Moyes. It won't be the same today. They won't be as comfortable. They won't have as much of the ball. Newcastle will be on them. So but
does that benefit them?
Maybe.
Because they're not. It's sometimes actually having all of the ball can be a problem.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes they do need a bit of a hurry.
Ball in behind for Newcastle. Isak in behind. That's fantastic defending from Jan-Paul Van Hecke. He gets across so well. Isak's furious. He thinks that should be a corner. I mean, this is brilliant.
That was arse.
Yeah, he lunges at it. Such good defending. That from Jan-Paul Van Hecke. Just does well to get across. Shuffles him out wide. Good position from Verbruggen as well. I don't think that was too contentious a decision, no. But, I mean, I want to compliment Bruno Guimaraes' ball because that was a fantastic pass.
I don't know what Lewis Dunk was doing, but yeah, it was a good ball.
Yeah. Gary going on about the Chelsea game. Gary, I'm not talking about it, mate. Not talking about it. Paul Van Hecke on the ball. Now Verbruggen. Lifts that wide to Estupiñán. That's a poor touch. They feel really nervy in this opening 2 minutes, Brighton. I don't know what it is.
This is very strange. That's from Newcastle are on them. They don't like it.
Yeah.
They want to have the ball. They want to be calm and relaxed in possession. It does just look, balls all over the place. And that's the problem. With a team who is, I don't want to say struggling, but coming off the back of a very surprising and, kind of battering against West Ham. The last thing you want is to play the first 2 minutes of the next game and be under the cosh immediately.
Yeah, indeed.
It's just Tonali.
Nikola Dimkovic, by the way, welcome to the stream. Was that Ake goal valid? By the letter of the law, no. But the refs make the rules up as they go along, so... General rule of thumb, if Man City do something, it's all right. Yeah. If anyone else does something, it's not. The problem
is they've still scored enough 4.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Tonali's on out the pitch.
Tonali, ball across Isak, and he smashed it wide. I think it came off.
No, it didn't. Referee just got straight.
Came off at a weird angle.
I mean, that's another. I mean, again, Mitoma
caught in possession here.
Estupiñán around.
Hits Tonali in the face. He reacts quickly though. No, it's just a poor shot from Isak.
I mean, again, he's lashed at it, and you said it the builder, Wilson. I feel it is. Last year we saw them swap round a lot. This year it has been very much Isak. Is that too much responsibility?
I think Isak does though. He's the better player. Show a little bit too aggressive there. Well, March goes down softly. He's given it though. Dan Brown bringing down a former teammate of his.
Yeah, I thought about Brighton. I think Dan Burns should go a little word here with... Stuart Atlas got a little word with Dan Burns. Dan Burns not got a word with Stuart Atlas.
To be fair, there's no intention to play the ball. He just runs into him.
Yeah.
And this one, Jar on Pedro. I mean, he puts his arm up at his neck.
It's the same debate we had in the Liverpool-Newcastle game. I don't care how early in the game it is. If it's a yellow card offence, it's a yellow card offence.
Yeah. Pascal Gross now over this. Ball in. Isak wins the header. But I don't think Isak's been very good this season. He did really well in the opening game against Villa. And then I think he lashed at chances too much against Liverpool. And he was completely taken out of the game in the City match.
As good as
It's great defending from Trippier,
as
by the
good
way.
as their opposition might have been in City and Liverpool, I feel like the Villa result was kind of masked everyone's judgment on how Newcastle started the season. Because they lose today, that's 1 win from 4.
But you could look at it both ways, couldn't you? You could say that City and Liverpool are just so much better, or are so good that they, it depends on today's result.
I think the City result, take it on the chin. They were brilliant.
If they win today, there's absolutely no reason why they can't beat any team in the league.
Yeah.
Bar City.
Whereas the Liverpool
Solly
result,
March.
that's a good
That's
shot.
a great effort, and it's just wide. He's been in great form, March. He's scored in every game so far this season. 4 goals from 3 matches, I believe.
I'll say, because he's one of those. He scored 2 late on, didn't he? Against.
He got 1 against Luton. He got 2 in their last match. I think he scored in the game in between as well. But
yeah, a game between. I can't remember who they played. Was it Wolves?
Wolves.
Yeah, he scored.
He got 2 quick-fire double just after the break, and then against West Ham.
Yeah,
I thought he didn't score against
3-3,
West Ham, so 3 and 3. Yeah.
But everyone was rubbish against West Ham, so we'll let him off.
Yeah. Indeed.
What? The other question with Brighton is their striker dilemma. Is Ewan Ferguson good enough to lead the line every single game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible in my opinion.
I just think we need to see it. Has he scored yet this season? Or
He's won the ball back.
He might eat my words here.
Gives it to March. March not in a great position. Back to Ferguson. March really wanted to play out wide to meet him there, but had to go through Ferguson to get there, and it didn't quite work out. Brighton in possession though. Dunk. I don't know how I feel about Lewis Dunk still being in this Brighton team. I feel like if you see there, he was a bit sloppy. He let the ball slip under his foot. But Deserby's very adamant about studs on top of the ball. You don't really risk it.
Here's my question at the start: is he an elite centre half?
Ball in behind, March tries to play it across, and it's blocked by target. Obviously, Brighton side aren't full of elite stars. They're full of, like wonder kids, and they're really good in this De Zerbi system.
Yeah.
But
that was my thing with Ferguson is we need to see more from him.
yeah,
Because there is the option for De Zerbi to play João Pedro through the middle and bring in someone else in the deeper attacking midfield role.
yeah, and with Facundo Buonanotte waiting in the wings, you've got to feel that there's going to be pressure on both Pedro and on Evan Ferguson. This is only Pedro's second start of the season. He started the opener against Luton, got a penalty goal in that game. Since then, hasn't started, but yeah. Carlos, yeah. If you notice, I was look left, by the way, it's because the tennis is on. Carlos Alcaraz in the US Open, crushing Dan Burn as it stands.
Evans.
Dan Evans, sorry, yeah.
Dan Burn playing tennis, I think he'd be brilliant.
He's quite tall, he's got the reach on him.
Pope goes long, that is a hell of a ball, but that is cut out by... Who is that? Glers. Yeah.
Flicked on by Newcastle.
But look at it.
Van Hecker's not alive to it. Isak. That's good defending from Burn. From Dunk.
And that all comes from a partnership that... oh my days, what has happened?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a yellow for Dan Burns, a second defence in 7 minutes. But like that's an inexperienced partnership. They haven't played with each other.
Right. Trippier, by the way, has done an excellent job so far. He's got a really difficult job. Meet him as one of the most difficult wingers to mark 1v1.
And I don't think you could ask anyone else apart from experienced right back like Kieran Trippier.
Or someone like Wan-Bissaka, who is a fantastic 1v1 defender.
Well, I think that's the other thing. When does Tino Livramento, what do they do with him?
Rotate him into the side. Start him in cup games. Start him in Premier games when you've got Champions League fixtures.
Yeah, I forget that we look at these two sides. They've got to have the depth for 4 competitions this
year.
But
also, with regards to Newcastle, they've had 4 games so far where you're going to want your strongest side play.
Yeah.
But as they start to get into the easier games of the season...
Sheffield United at home, I'd expect to see a Livramento play.
Exactly. And I think, obviously, while Trippier will probably play the Champions League fixtures and get the majority of those minutes... You've got to think that Livramento will be the option that they look to in the cup competitions. Obviously, they've got that Carabao Cup tie against City. They may well play Trippier in that because it's City. But I think, obviously, if they go further in that, you'd expect to see someone like Livramento getting minutes. Super now robbed in possession. Newcastle have the ball high up the pitch here. Bruno Guimaraes tries to put the ball in. Great defending from Billy Gilmore there. Blocking at the cross.
No, it looks like everyone having a great time.
It's fantastic from Kawara Mitama.
I'm not getting much rest.
Shifts it to Pascal Gross. Now it's with Joel Veltman. Back to Gross. They seem to be calming in possession.
Everyone, but like, thanks for having it. I know I've seen a lot flood through in chat. I know you haven't read too much.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a good game so far.
We're having a great conversation. Caden did see Watford's own goal. which was horrific, by the way. Between Howard and Backman, whatever you say his name, centre half.
Yeah. What, Wesley Hoot?
Hoot. Yeah, terrible commission. Awful, really.
Yeah.
Great game, though. 3-3. If you're a neutral, you're loving it.
Yeah.
Good header.
Or a Coventry Watford fan who's keen on chaos.
Yeah.
Mitoma. Tries to put the ball in, blocked by Almiron. Has it again now. Mitoma, Gilmore, Veltman. Moves it out wide. Here's Solly March. Looking to take on Target. There's one how almost goes in. Cross comes in, skewed off a bit of a weird angle coming off Target. Pope there.
Wow.
Had to make the save.
I thought he turned it his own goal.
Yeah, it came off Target. It was spinning towards goal. He wasn't expecting to push it around the post.
That would have been an unfortunate own goal from that Target.
Well,
Pope very alert to it.
had to be.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. Corner to Brighton. Brilliant first 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. It looked exceptional. I mean, it's been an exceptional game. Dunk plays it across a Stupinian, and he tries a low effort, but it's not really come off. Nikola Dimkovic says Fulham are really unpredictable. They are really good against Tottenham and Arsenal, and they weren't that good today. City are different. I think that the result didn't reflect on the match. The problem with Fulham is no matter how good they play, they can't score goals.
No.
They got a draw. Did they get a draw against Arsenal? No, they lost against Arsenal in the end, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they can't score goals. They've lost Mitrovic and replaced him with Raul Jimenez, who was good in 2019, but it's not 2019 anymore. No. And I feel like they really failed to replace Mitrovic. I don't look at Vinicius as someone who can perform well in the Premier League. I don't look at Rodrigo Muniz as someone that can perform well in general.
I used to think Declan David was a striker, but he's playing right back. He's playing right.
Who knows? I just don't get how you can lose Alexander Mitrovic for 52 million and replace him with
no one.
A £3 million addition for a Wolves striker who's not played football not played consistent football for 2-3 years.
You're not funny. You're just not funny. Chelsea fans say the same. You're not funny, Gary. I've said you're funny all along, but I think I'm going to take it back
just about saying Tottenham looks good so far.
I do.
I've been saying this all summer. You didn't listen to me. You guys watching the show didn't listen to me.
And to be fair, their new charter and Postecoglou to Roy Williams and Angels is actually pretty decent.
I was pioneering them all summer, no matter how much of a barrage.
From a Chelsea point of view,
called it really.
Even when we did bad last year, we could always laugh at Tottenham because they were doing worse. But now they're battering teams by 5 goals.
Literally every other London side is doing well.
We're getting mocked.
Even West Ham.
They think they're champions of Europe.
They don't know the difference between the Conference League and the Champions League is what I've learned. Dunk taking his time on the ball here, then goes back to Verbruggen. Verbruggen is very much a modern day goalkeeper. It seems fantastic with the ball at his feet. He looks so composed, given this is just his second Premier League start. I haven't actually seen him make a save yet, though.
No, I haven't, which is very worrying because it's in no goal shoot. Is he going to save it?
I don't think I saw him make a save in the West Ham game. The 3 shots West Ham had, the 3 times West Ham had the ball, is the back of his net. But yeah. Fulham got the wrong Vinicius. I mean, they're for Vinicius Jr. That would be quite useful.
They got 52 million, not 152 million. They probably got salaries.
Rajovic is good for Watford, though, says Caden Holloman. I hadn't heard of him. Rajovic scored a brace today for them. I hadn't heard of him before today.
Yeah, but Daniel Backman's not a goalkeeper, so... Honestly, I don't know what he was doing. He was just doing something different. Having a laugh.
Gilmore slides it through. That's a brilliant ball, Ferguson. He was forced wide by Dan Burn. He managed to get a decent shot away on target, but it was never really troubling the keeper. This is an excellent ball. The vision from Billy Gilmore to spot the run, to spot the space, slides it through. You feel like maybe Ferguson's touch is dragged him even wider than he needs to be there. Possibly could have got a shot away without the touch, but not bad from Ferguson.
Yeah.
Starting to make those runs, trying to find some space, trying to fashion opportunity. Paul Van Hecker. And him and Dunk just trading passes now with Lewis Dunk. And he's going to go back. No, he won't. He dummied it. Now he does go back. He really got to decide what he's going to do here. Right, defence just happy to hold on to the ball. As I say, Newcastle very good at sitting high, putting a lot of pressure on the defence and making it very difficult to play out from the back. Van Hecker. Now for Bruggen. Van Hecker again now. Gives it to Lewis Dunk. And a very contentious centre, but what a pass by Gilmore. Yeah, we've always known the quality that Billy Gilmore's possessed. I've been championing him for years now. I mean, I've seen him play for Chelsea, I've seen him play for Norwich, obviously watching him as well play for Brighton over the last sort of year and a half. I think he's an exceptional footballer. I've never really understood why Chelsea let him go. And Gallagher's still there, but, you know, some things don't make sense in life. But yeah, I really rate Billy Gilmore, and it's a good inception there. Unfortunately, Brighton not able to get onto the ball. Tonali has piece of pass to Stupinian. Almiron, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Moves it across.
Oh,
it comes off Dunk, and well, Verbrugge's forced into a save. We've got proof he can save something. Good reactions from him.
I mean, this is honestly, someone's going to score an own goal in a minute because
just came off her.
Neither's not going to score an own
Dunk
goal.
tries to step into Almiron.
Yeah, and Verbruggen, I mean, good reactions to be fair to him.
But Almiron, I mean, that was showing shades of what he had, the quality he was playing with last season.
Yeah.
And now a corner for Newcastle. They can make good use of corners, Newcastle, but that's cut out well.
What were they even trying?
They're trying to slide to the player on the edge of the box. They're coming forwards here with an overload. Brighton. Mitoma. Running at Gordon. Cuts inside. Kawari Mitoma. Shot blocked. Tries to dink over the top.
But again,
and that's claimed by Pope.
Mitoma last year curls that top corner. He beat. I know Gordon did well to get back in, but he picks up. I mean, brilliant. Obviously, it's Mitoma.
Yeah.
Picks the ball on the halfway line. Does really well. But Dan Burn does kind of block him off. He has an option to shoot, but still, you expect him to do better in that situation.
Yeah. Trippier. Shah. Lifts it forwards. Tonali. Now Almiron. Bruno Guimaraes. So that's a good ball from Bruno, but it's not really to anyone. Right sort of idea, though. Billy Gilmore now in possession. Trying to bring it forward. João Pedro. Bursting forward, João Pedro goes down in the box. That should be a penalty.
What's ref given?
Doesn't
No, he went
decide.
He went to Bird's whistle and did nothing.
I don't see how that's not a penalty, personally. And now Newcastle coming forwards anyway. Bruno Guimaraes then brought down. Gordon's now come forwards. Isak on the ball. I mean, it's still going on, and Newcastle coming forwards. Alex Isak gets around the defender, plays it across. Nobody at the back post for him. He should have cut it. He needs to put it to the back post where Gordon was until he tried to cut it back. No one arriving to hit it.
I want to see that. I want to see a replay of that João Pedro chance again.
Yeah, I think that's a pen, personally.
That is a strange one.
I thought
they haven't really had time to stop the game, so I suppose not. But I want to have a look.
Yeah. Ken saying Valérien Ismaël is likely to get the sack now.
Of course, he manages Watford. I don't know why.
I think that's the joke.
I know, but I don't know why you would ever take the Watford job. On what planet?
Because if you do not get sacked in 6 months, you're Pep. City can offer you a job.
Yeah, I think
it's like the litmus test, isn't it?
I think they'd sack Pep.
And even then, if you do get sacked by Watford, it feels like that seems to be a success. Because look at the managers that have been sacked by Watford recently. Rob Edwards, now managing the Premier League with Luton Town. That's not too bad, wouldn't say.
But
corner for Brighton, by the way.
I honestly think after 2 years, Watford would sack that Guardiola.
2 years?
They'd find a way. They'd find
2 months.
Either they wouldn't like his outfit or his hair.
2 weeks when he asks for investment.
Oh yeah.
And they reply with, which Udinese players would you like on loan?
And then he goes, actually, I'm going to go sign Mbappe, mate. And they go, you're gone.
Yeah, a guy saying, I don't think his time at Norwich did his valuation any good. It's more Norwich's fault than his, obviously. That was a really weird loan move to send a player who is very technically good into a relegation dogfight in a team that couldn't really play football.
Watching him live, he didn't look too bad. Obviously, he's Billy Gilmore, but he just didn't really have the same...
Rolling from grass.
Oh, that is a deep ball. That's worked.
Mitoma, can't really transfer it in the air. March.
Going headers.
He did well, though.
On his head.
Solly March puts the ball towards the back post.
Gordon's putting a really good defensive shift.
He's
keeping it alive. Look, it's done. That's brilliant.
An absolute shift. Gross.
I was going to say, Gordon defensively.
Beltman.
He's helping Trippier double up on Mitoma, which is what you have to do because it's quite Mitoma.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he does. You can't 1-on-1. You're dead.
I can't believe no one picked him up.
That is slightly from Brighton again though. I'll be honest, Van Hecke's struggling and he's got
looking for Isak. I know Brighton would probably slap a high valuation on Mitoma, but if you're Tottenham, that Kane money, I can't think of a better use than to go and get Mitoma. He's perfect for Ange. Ange has wanted him for years. He rated him when he was playing out in Japan. Obviously, Ange was managing in Japan at the time. He wanted him at Celtic, but Celtic couldn't compete with Brighton when they both went in for him. Obviously, it's Celtic. Why didn't they go and get him? I feel like he'd have been a perfect addition. And now with Son playing through the middle as well, there's that space on the left-hand side. Maybe if Tottenham hadn't just brought Manor Solomon for a laugh at the start of the window, maybe they'd have space for him.
That was so brain dead. But it's working. He's doing really well.
Because Ange is able to get the best out of players, seemingly.
And that is really frustrating.
Yeah, all the money Watford made from both João Pedro and Ismail Sarr was put into Udinese transfer window budget. Yeah, exactly.
Like, last 15 minutes sunk Brighton completely. They had 7 shots, 69% of the ball. Newcastle, not a single shot, 31% of the ball. And it is still 0-0. That is their problem. They have dominated and they have got nothing for it. And this
if they keep up, they are going to score.
They do. Well, we thought that West Ham. They conceded 3.
Yeah, but they don't. There's no set piece merchants here.
Kim Trippier is pretty decent.
He's not James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
Mitoma, he tries to play it across, there's nobody there, and Tonali hacks it clear.
He didn't really look, did he? He kind of just put it there.
Newcastle playing backs against the wall, by the way.
They are.
It's 10 men behind the ball. Yeah. It's Isak up by himself and everyone else having to sit back.
Question why I said Gordon was putting in a good defensive shift.
But it makes sense because are Brighton not one of the best possession sides in the Premier League?
Yeah.
I genuinely think on their day Brighton are third best in the league. I think only City and maybe Liverpool, I would say.
Yeah, but I think if we're talking about teams on their day,
exactly.
Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool on their day are ridiculous.
When Salah's firing, when they're playing against any sort of Man United team.
I say United on their day wouldn't hurt a fly. Like, when have they ever been on their day? Yeah. I could not tell you under Ten Hag when they have been on their day.
And even if they are, like, Anthony's still going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Or, they're going to have a couple of injuries.
Trying to say he got the ball. He didn't get the ball.
Yeah. Watford's biggest deal last window was $600,000 for Jake Livermore. I'd pay $600,000 not to have Jake Livermore.
Did they buy him?
Yeah.
They bought Jake Livermore. Who's ever done that? I swear he was born in West Brom, played for West Brom, never left West Brom.
I was thinking about Chelsea, says a Chelsea fan. Who are we talking about? I'm presuming that's not Jake Livermore. Who are we talking about over the last few minutes? Mitoma?
Mitoma, maybe.
I'd love him, but yeah. West Ham did the same as Brighton. It worked well for them. Brighton had ridiculous possession, but couldn't get into West Ham's box at all. Yeah, I mean, it's the way to beat Brighton. It's the way to beat City.
Yeah, exactly. Well. Yeah, Brighton and Man City without the Haaland or the punch.
Against Liverpool, the best way to play them isn't to sit back because Salah will just pick up and score from 40 yards. Run at them because Trent doesn't defend.
But the thing is, Brighton don't have a Rodri who'll score a screamer if City are 0-0. They don't have a Haaland who will quite literally just destroy
Ferguson's very good though. But Paul Van Hecker's down with an injury.
Gordon is now been booked.
Anthony Gordon pick up a yellow card.
Graciously helps Van Hecker to his feet. He was late. It was late. It's definite foul. Catch him on top of the foot. Those ones hurt.
Yeah. Yellow card seems a little harsh.
I think he's just full of foul. I'm the next person to make a foul.
Yeah, I don't think that was a yellow card offence. But as you say, there are a couple fouls in Newcastle now. It does feel like they literally are copying out of the David Moyes handbook.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you been impressed by West Ham and David Moyes this season, or do you think it's just a bit of a fluke and that?
I think they are brilliant at being rubbish, and that's why they're doing so well, because they are really good at being the worst team. Because they will just sit there and play like they're rubbish, and then they'll just get a Ward-Prowse corner or. Paqueta will do something which really annoys everyone because everyone knows how much of an arsehole he is.
Gilmore.
I don't think that's going to make it. I was getting ready for Allen to win it back and run the length of the pitch and score, but then that was really anticlimactic because he didn't get there somehow. This is what Brighton. But yeah, no, David Moyes, he's doing really well. He's playing to West Ham's strength. He doesn't play to the opposition. He just plays to West Ham's ability, which is a man called James Ward-Prowse.
Given the resource that West Ham have now and the investment and the fact they want to be that European fighting club, is Moyes holding them back? Because in my opinion, if they got a manager that plays a nice brand of football, a possession brand of football, got in a load of really talented technical players, do they make a better go of it? Do they play some really nice stuff like this?
Yes, because
at the moment they're just like getting a 1-0 win because they can take a corner.
Being annoying doesn't win you every single game. And if you unlock West Ham, you will batter them. But if you don't, they'll do what... Look at the Chelsea game. Corner, counter, penalty. 3-1 win.
And I think West Ham really... Ward-Prowse has helped them out a lot now, but especially last season, they really struggled for goals. Because their way of getting goals is kick it long and hope Antonio gets onto something.
Or Bowen might beat a man and score.
Yeah.
Look at the...
but now they've got Ward-Prowse who can just take a set piece and they've scored.
Look at the Europa Conference League final. It was Bowen from goal in the last minute, counter, and a penalty.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what West Ham do.
I do think that West Ham need to consider how they will approach the future, whether that is with David Moyes. Because if they continue with David Moyes, then their transfer strategy has to be revolve around David Moyes, meaning they're sort of forced into having or boxed into having David Moyes forever. Because what other coach plays that brand of football at the highest level right now?
And
there's not many.
Nobody else tries to sign Harry Maguire.
No.
That is, but they do. It does. I just don't, honestly, they frustrate me so much because I don't like it when teams are really bad but play well.
Yeah, you got to feel that with Brighton playing as well as they are right now, a goal's got to come soon.
Oh yeah, they're definitely. But who knows? Because I said that in my West Ham game and they conceded 3. And Newcastle. But see, the difference is that Newcastle have not threatened once.
Ball in behind.
His own net.
Meantime, we're giving chase. This should be easy for Pope though. Though he's not done well. Stupinan picks it up.
Shoot!
Jimmy's past one. Gives it to Mitoma.
Oh,
that's a great stop. Tonali then getting rid of it. Billy Gilmore. It's not Ferguson. And they found the goal. It's Brighton 1, Newcastle 0. They were in complete disarray there, Newcastle. Brighton peppering them with shots. Billy Gilmore, what an effort from the edge of the box. Saved by Pope. Nobody reacted quicker than Evan Ferguson, who tucked it home well. He's a perfect poacher, isn't he? Evan Ferguson, you question whether he can lead the line for Brighton. Well, he's proven you wrong there. Brighton 1, Newcastle 0. This Pope,
as soon as Pope gets out of the suit now, panic sets in. Trippier slides across, thinking he's going to shoot. Burns slides across, and then which means everyone's on the floor here. Gilmore's got no one gets out of Gilmore, and Nick Pope.
He catch that so nicely, Billy Gilmore.
He does, but I mean...
I wish for his sake he got a goal there.
But panic, you look at it, it's desperate. It's desperate from Newcastle as soon as Pope...
But then there's like 4 of them all sat in the box, and none of them are on Evan Ferguson. Matt Targett's in no man's land.
In the same week when Nick Pope doesn't get picked for the England squad, to distribute like that, and then to not claim that... The problem is, I understand. I'm not saying he should. If he tries to parry it and parries it, then fair enough. But the fact he tries to claim it and doesn't means he should claim it.
Yeah.
So if he thinks he should claim it, he should claim it. But as soon as he distributes that poorly to Superman, panic sets in, tackles are flying in, and Brighton take the lead, and they deserve that.
Gordon.
But it might be completely ruined here.
Cuts in.
Might score.
Joe Linton rolls it past the post.
That is a let off for Brighton.
Yeah, switch off there after scoring, really.
And I mean, after equalising so quickly, they watch Gordon tiptoe inside. Everyone's scared to put a tackle in. They then watch Joe Linton tiptoe through the whole team, and I mean that was on target for Brugham's nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So interesting.
But yeah, 1-0 Brighton then.
In what was a chaotic last few minutes. A chaotic game.
A question's going to have to be asked soon of Newcastle.
I think so, especially whatever this attack comes to. It's Mitoma. He's got to look right.
Pedro! That's a poor one. He's getting out of my field too, considering that Alvarez is in great form.
I mean, 2 things here. First of all, terrible shot. Second of all, if that's Solly March, you are screaming for the ball on the right hand side. Because he's in acres, because Matt Targett's tucked in and got scared. If you, I think it was Solly March, but it's good from Ferguson, wins the ball back, drives him well, meets him up.
He's a very good physical presence.
He's got to look right. If he's going to shoot and score, never mind. If he's going to shoot like that, he's got to look right.
Where do you see Evan Ferguson end up? Or will he be the first Brighton player to stay?
So, I think they'll end up eventually gauging stock for a head injury here.
Obviously, Tottenham were linked with him as a Kane replacement. That deal didn't seem financially doable for Tottenham. He's also been linked with, I know a lot of Man United fans are very keen on having him. I mean, they've now signed Højlund, so a bit of a weird one, but...
Yeah. Chelsea might buy him for the sake of it.
They might. But Chelsea also interested in Ivan Toney as well. Who obviously will be available come January. Why would Ferguson go from Brighton to Brentford? That's downgrade.
Could he go outside Europe?
What, South America?
No, sorry, out of England. Barcelona?
Corinthians.
Real Madrid? Is he that good?
Oh, it's an interesting debate. Chat, what do you think? How good is Evan Ferguson?
Or how is he now and how good could he be?
Yeah.
Because for me, even if he isn't Champions League quality now, he is Barcelona quality in a couple of years.
Feels like English strikers don't go abroad, but he could. I mean, Kane's always been linked with Real Madrid. Real could look at him. Even if they do get Mbappe, because Mbappe wants to play off the left.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but seeing an English person play for a foreign team is bizarre.
Well, I mean, Jude Bellingham's crushing it for Real.
Yeah, but he's always been abroad. Apart from, he left early. He left early, didn't he?
Birmingham.
It's not like an established English footballer. But I guess it's the whole thing.
Have you seen...
like, English people abroad do look like idiots.
Have you seen how good Bellingham's been in Madrid?
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
5 goals in 4 games.
He's crazy.
Something like that.
And I think it shows either how bad that Dortmund side actually is, or how good he is.
He's sensational.
He is ridiculous at football. Like, could he be the thing?
But this is what frustrates me: is people are acting like, oh, this England team doing well to get to semis and stuff. I look at it and I think we should be pissing it. I think we should win the lot. Isak win the ball, and I think that's a foul though on Gilmore.
Soft.
A little bit.
Well, I think...
But I look at the players in the England team right now, and I go, we should be pissing the Euros. And yet we're looking at it going, well, I don't know. And you don't know why? It's not the playing squad, is it?
But we have to win 24.
It's the manager that keeps bringing Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips and Harry Maguire.
That's embarrassing. He should be sacked just for bringing Jordan Henderson.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. For me, England are wasting the golden generation.
I'd like to think that if Henderson gets on the pitch, that every single England fan would boo him.
And at the moment, it seems to be it's always going to be just one more tournament for Southgate. Yeah. But was quarter finals of the World Cup? That's all right. We'll do better.
We've had quarters of the World Cup, finals of the Euros, semis of the World Cup. We have to win Euro 24 because a man cannot come closer. He possibly could not be closer from getting quarters, semis, and a final.
Yeah.
He can be closer in his life. He has to win 24.
You've got Randa football play. You've got Jude Bellingham in midfield. You've got Phil Foden. You've got
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, one of the best marksmen of the last decade. You've got Ivan Toney to replace him. So it's not like that's a massive problem.
Bukayo Saka, generational talent.
Very much so. Trent, for all the criticism we're given, one of the best creative fullbacks in the world. Reece James, one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world. Ben Chilwell, a winger pretty much, and even then not a great one, but he's all right.
The centre halves that he has available to him, world class. The centre halves he picks, Harry Maguire. The CDMs that's available to him, world class. Who does he pick? Henderson and Phillips.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather watch. Conor Gallagher's got in there. I think that's deserved. He's looked pretty good. But again, is he the best that England have to offer?
But how Sterling doesn't get in is so weird. It feels like if you do anything that merits a call-up, you don't get in. Wilson's in there.
But Jordan Henderson does. He threw away everything. Morals, rights, everything. To go to Saturday, not his rights, but his thoughts on other people's rights. He definitely didn't throw away his, blimey. But he's gone over there and he still gets a place over Raheem Sterling, who's actually looked really good in the Premier League, which is a really good league.
Yeah.
Bizarre one.
I mean, they're different players, but yeah, I agree with the overall message.
He should be his place, for me. We don't need CDMs. We've got Jude Bellingham. He does it all.
But there's other English midfielders that would be more deserving of a call than Phillips and Henderson. I mean, Ward-Prowse is sat at home for this next internationals. Why? He's a great set piece taker.
He is great. I'm not his highest kind of.
But for tournament football, and I know these are there only qualifiers, but you want him in the squad. For tournament football, it's so useful to have someone that, you know, you can just go, do you want to go take a set piece? And he goes, and whips it to
I'm not comparing Messi and Ward-Prowse, but in a World Cup final, Argentina would turn to Messi at a free kick and watch him tap it top corner. We could do that with James Ward-Prowse.
He's more likely to score.
Euros finals.
Ward-Prowse has a higher conversion rate of free kicks than Lionel Messi.
You're telling me we're sitting there in the Allianz Arena in next year in the
Who are we playing against?
summer. We are playing against France.
How warm is it?
It's pretty warm. Mbappe has put them 1-0 up. We need a goal in the 82nd minute.
How did Mbappe score? Did Maguire slip over and run in?
Who's taking the free kick? Do we want it to be Ward-Prowse who would probably score it? Or do you want to be Kieran Trippier, who scored one really good one in the 2018 World Cup, which sent me bonkers, but still, what's he done apart from that?
Anthony Boylan went to the stream, by the way, agreeing with us there. You put Ward-Prowse in the midfield with Bellingham and Rice, and he'll shine. Exactly. I don't think Ward-Prowse offers a load. I think there's better players than him in open play. But given his set-piece credentials...
Also, it is that...
Given the fact that in a midfield with those, he'd have so much creative licence, because Rice is a fantastic defensive midfielder, and Bellingham is a great can operate as a box-to-box midfielder. So then you can just give Ward-Prowse almost like that Pirlo.
But also...
Just pick up the ball and create things.
It's the same old caveat in football, where if you put a player who with world-class footballers, he will play better. Look at Jacob Murphy.
Yeah.
Last year against Tottenham. You put him there with Isak and Bruno Guimaraes and all these world-class footballers. Kieran Trippier, who's international experience, brilliant footballer. You put him with Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy looks good.
Really good.
Yeah, I know.
Especially trying against Stellini's Tottenham.
Yeah, it's like it's Star and Skip and Romero and
I just look at the players available. I look at the England national pool right now, and I don't think we've ever had a stronger team. And it's unfathomable to be that we're not
better than that.
Winning everything.
It's better than the Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard, Terry era where we somehow didn't win anything because we had the likes of Roy Hodgson. It's that same old. It's the same thing. Southgate's better than Roy Hodgson, but our squad's better than it.
Why are we so stubborn to just have bad managers?
I know.
Not that Hodgson's a bad manager. He's certainly better than Southgate. Not for England. I definitely concede that. But
I think at some point we do need to change our policy of having an English manager manage the team.
Oh well, we've had Capello, and that didn't exactly go to plan.
I know, but if you look at other nations doing it, it has worked every time. Even with the Lionesses, Serena Weidman is not English.
Who would be your sort of dream England manager? Because for me, ignoring everything I just said, Mourinho, because that'd be so fun.
Oh, Mourinho would be brilliant. We'd win everything.
But who would be your
The problem is with not bringing in an English manager is you risk the quality. Tottenham fans are going to hate him. Other fans will hate Mourinho. Chelsea fans go, oh my god, it's Jose Mourinho. Other fans will hate him because they don't like Jose Mourinho.
But so if we are going to bring an English manager though, why not Graham Potter? Out of a job right now.
Take Potter's Chelsea reign out of consideration. He is a top quality manager.
I don't think the fact that Chelsea team didn't do very well is on Potter.
Because I don't think I think Jose. All the Chelsea managers have been successful.
Yeah.
Probably Jose Mourinho. He's very, very good. He is very, very good. He wouldn't have done anything that Chelsea side. No manager would have. I think Pep would have struggled because he's trying to get Conor Gallagher and Ruben Loftus-Cheek to play football together. I think that's
no, because Conor Gallagher become an inverted right wing back, and he'd be getting Ballon d'Or nominees, right?
But we can't compare Potter to Guardiola because Guardiola is like
Pep.
He's a different breed.
Yeah. Balling
from Gordon over everyone. And
absolutely not. Well, is that to Potter? Potter just be another Southgate?
No.
Mate, Gary Potter. That's
again, think how good Chelsea fans.
Graham Potter's a fantastic coach.
Forget what he did at Chelsea. Look at what he did at Brighton. And that was before Brighton brought all these extra players.
Isak, rocked away, Tonali. Good defending for a skip.
Who would you guys have? Who would you guys have a Chelsea England manager?
I mean, if Lewis and Regan just been picked up by PSG,
yeah,
be looking at him.
Zidane, what's he doing? No, why not?
What's he up to?
Vaguely, Argentina manager. He's nothing special, but he won.
No, we had Messi.
He does have Lionel Messi.
It's sort of cheating.
Yeah, okay, you don't. Honestly, I think I could go. I could not. But that is Lionel Messi. Any bang average manager with Lionel Messi will win games.
I mean, the fact that Julian Nagelsmann right now is out of a job.
Yeah.
is unfathomable to me.
But the thought of a German managing the England national team.
Because if I'm any club in the world, I'm bringing in Newcastle.
Anyone over 30, from an England point of view, anyone over 30 would hate the fact we'd have a German managing the England team. Because they keep thinking we're in the war that happened ages ago. Trippier on a free kick for Newcastle. 6 minutes left of the half. Can Newcastle get back into this game? Ball in. Not a bad one. Caught over Brightton.
Yeah. Jose's also down, says Chelsea fan. Fair enough. Yeah.
I think the thing is with Potter is he's realistic. If the FA go to Potter, we managing and he says yes. If they go to Jose Mourinho, it's like, right off.
They've also not got to have a job, really. I don't see anyone quitting a domestic side for an international job.
No.
Dar's easy one to the stream, by the way. I don't know. I think Graham Potter will be a good manager for England. I think he is sensational.
My next choice would be if we have to stick with the England criteria, if Newcastle let Eddie Howe go. But why'd they do that?
Why would we want Eddie Howe?
Is he not good? I thought he was brilliant.
He is a good coach. I just don't think he's a World Cup winning, European Championship winning coach.
English managers just aren't very good.
No, Gerrard, Lampard, Neville.
Yeah. Neville again. And then Neville, I don't know he matters. He doesn't.
No.
But both Nevilles are rubbish. What's the thing though? If we're sticking to this English criteria,
One day,
who do we bring in?
Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna.
I would say Carrick, but look, Middlesbrough.
Yeah, well, right this second they're not doing very well.
And McKenna, yeah, but why would he leave Ipswich at the moment?
Well, he won't. That's what I'm saying. One day. I'm not saying let's go and pluck a manager out of the Championship.
Yeah.
Might as well get Alex Neil because Preston have won a match.
They look brilliant together. They're top of the league.
Do they look brilliant though?
They're top of the league.
They're Preston though.
Preston North End, top of the
But
championship.
no, they've won games. Don't get me wrong. They don't look brilliant. They look shit. It's Preston.
Preston never look good.
Exactly.
They're going to win the championship this year. I'm still saying they don't look very good at football. I think that's a very good English manager. Didn't want to think abroad there are none. Will Steele.
Yeah.
But he's in rubbish since he said that he didn't learn anything from FM.
Yeah, he betrayed FM and then they were like, well, I'll have that then.
Yeah. Or your knowledge, God.
And then crap in the game.
Yeah.
How did Chelsea play today, says Dara? By all
Rubbish.
reports, we were the better team, but we didn't finish our chances and we conceded one. Doesn't be how every game over the last 3 years for Chelsea's gone.
That's Anthony Alanya as well. It's not like it's a United player, ex-United player.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy stuff. When will Chelsea get it right?
That
Who
is
knows?
brilliant, by the way, from Bart Verbruggen.
That was a very good touch from me.
A precise pass to pretty much the halfway line.
Oh, that is. I'm loving this.
Gilmore. Take some time in possession. Now Gross.
Think we're going to see a goal for half time?
I do not.
Also, I think we see a yellow card for Shah. Yes, we are.
So is that now both Newcastle Centre Arsenal yellow?
No, Burn didn't get put, did he?
Oh, he did.
No, Gordon did.
Oh,
Burn
that
didn't.
was sorry.
Burn somehow got away 2007 minutes.
You're saying he should get
Oh, I tell you what. Pedro has made a minute of that.
Hmm.
You know, sorry, I can't remember what you answered. Are we seeing the goal for half time?
No, we're not.
Oh.
If we are, it's going to be right and getting another one. But I don't think we will.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah, only a couple of minutes left then as we approach the halfway mark. Brighton have been very impressive. I think my 3-0 Newcastle prediction might be out the window.
Yeah.
Gross. March trying to head it back across the box. That'll be a corner. We know the presence that Brighton have from these sort of areas. These dead ball situations. And I think it'll be March to take the Gross is going over and saying, actually, lad, I want a bit of this.
Fair enough.
When we get our full team, we might be okay, maybe, says Chelsea fan. Yeah, I don't really know why Poch is sticking as well with the three. Well, I don't really know what we're playing at the minute. Supposed to be a 3-back. Chilwell's playing left wing. Why? I don't know. Bit of a weird one.
Ooh,
Just over the bar there from Evan Ferguson. Sorry, Lewis Dunk. And then he got very angry with himself.
Love it.
But, yeah. Chelsea frustrating.
Is Rooney still at DC United? Not saying she's managing.
He is. Yeah, no.
Remember people saying that when he was managing Derby and they did really well.
Yeah, he got his. I saw he got his FIFA Pro license the other day.
Oh,
Maybe he's coming to the Prem soon.
Gross. Still gross. Was that a foul? No.
Prem says now, mate. But it does feel like no English players go on to become managers.
Yeah. But they're all rubbish.
Like,
they've all done nothing. I mean, they've all managed Derby at this rate. Who will be the next one?
Current England player to manage?
Yeah.
Difficult question.
I mean,
There's a lot of them going to
I think English
punditry.
person, I'll say John Joe Shelby.
I can't see John Joe Shelby being very good. I think he'd be a bit of Joe Barton.
I mean, why he's a man
Without the betting, the booze, and the other stuff.
There's a lot of stuff when it comes to Joe Barton.
I don't know then. Next sort of English player to manage. I'd say John Stones.
Oh, I think he'd be good.
Because he's worked under Pep.
And Pickford.
Going to have a great tactical understanding. Pickford would be like
Also,
insane.
I mean, sort of terrible day for English goalkeepers. Pope and Mayor here. Pickford and Mayor earlier.
It wasn't his fault. Shot crushed against the post and
Yeah.
struck it on the arse.
Yeah, Cameron Archer looks very good.
Do you think Archer could earn himself an England call-up this season if he keeps playing like that?
Yeah. I mean, how Ollie Watkins isn't... I mean, I know Nketiah's done decently for the youth side, but what has he done to warrant a place?
Yeah. But yeah, Gary's saying TSC Jack for England manager. One day. One day, Gary.
Oh, waiting. That's a lot more years of hurt.
Yeah. I was going to say.
We'll be looking at nearly 100. Not in here.
Considering even if I was to somehow become a Premier League manager, the younger Premier League managers at the moment are all in their 40s. Most people don't manage internationally until their 60s.
Yeah.
So we're talking 40-something years' time. 40-odd years' time,
We're talking nearly 100 years of hurt.
We'd be approaching 100 years of hurt.
It can't get to that point, because it'd all hurt too much and every single England fan would just die.
Like fairies. We stop believing, so we just perish.
Yeah. I don't know when I will stop believing.
Oh, that's a great shout. James Milner as a manager.
Yes, good
About
shout.
that.
But like that is what point do I stop believing? Because I don't think I ever will. Honestly, I'd be 70 years of age, over nearly 150 years of hurt, and I'd still believe into a tournament would win it. I'll never stop. I get it's obviously horrible when we lose to Italy in the final, and I just want to scream.
I can have no control over my basic bodily function. I still believe England to go win the Jules Rimet one last time.
It would still gleam after 123 years of hurt.
Yeah.
That's half time.
Unless they leave it in a really dusty cabinet. That is half time. Brighton 1, Newcastle 0 then at the break. Brighton, they've looked exceptional. What else did we expect? Brighton, they have this wonderful style of play which always dazzles neutrals and dazzles oppositions. At the moment, Newcastle unable to combat it despite them playing quite defensive in this game. Evan Ferguson's goal, the difference then, it's Brighton 1, Newcastle 0 at the break. Very good first half of football.
It has been good from Brighton. It's been a nice half. I think they've played some really nice stuff. I mean, after the 5th minute, they dominated from start to finish, and they deservedly got their goal. For a bit of fortune, I mean, Nick Pope first had to made the clearance, and then panic just set in.
Hang on, what is happening here? They're interviewing Robert De Zerbi at half-time.
I don't know what Brighton signed up for. They do this every home game that Sky do. They talk to the manager, they're allowed in the changing room, so a bloke with a camera just sits in there, listens to the team talk. Why would you sign up for that?
What, did you know at the start as well?
Yeah.
When they're getting changed?
I don't know what they do then, because they do have cameras in there, and nobody wants to see that. Lewis Dunk.
Well, there might be some bloke on the cameras at Sky that's thinking, oh,
You know, Lewis Dunk, really.
I'll save that to a separate folder.
Oh.
Anyway. Again, I said Grealish, trainer says followed by drinks at the pub. For squad harmony, he'd be great, wouldn't he?
He's the type of coach you'd have, like Milner's on the second, right lads, you're going to be Jackie Grealish now. He's like, what drink have you got this order? This is how many points you drink in a minute.
As a neutral, it'd be amazing to watch the chaos as long as it's not at your club. If he's your manager, though, every game you're just going to be like, we never know what's going to happen today. Never know what's going to happen. But yeah. Well, we've got some cricket chat. Did you watch Harry Brook bat yesterday?
I did. He was very good. We looked very good.
There we go. No more cricket chat. No, they're still talking about cricket. Judgman says Gary Jack will be the best England manager ever. Lol. Sensational. I mean, I probably won't, but you never know. You never know. It's going to be difficult to match some other great England managers, but yeah, hopefully so. Anyway, shall we talk about that first half?
We probably should. I don't know what
Probably should.
After the goal, Brighton see what Brighton did and just passed the ball around a bit.
Yeah.
They're really good at that. They are just really good at football. Like, honestly, we just sat here and a chat while just watching Brighton play some mesmerising stuff. It is really good.
With standard silence. You just watch us. Comedically, our eyes move back and forth as they move it. But
They look really good. Newcastle. Questions have to be a really good year last year. Really good year. Got Champions League football. Start the season. It's a tough run, yes. But a tough run, you still have to come with a good performance. It wasn't against Villa. Wasn't there against City. Really wasn't their outcome against Liverpool. And they've come and blown away first 45 against Brighton here.
So a lot of people saying that they can compete with the likes of Dortmund, Milan and PSG they've been drawn within their group. But I think if you take them off their merit, off of the performances they've put in this season so far, there's nothing to suggest that they are worthy of playing against those sort of teams.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle really need to bring it up a notch. They've invested a lot of money. They looked really good last season, but it almost feels like the squad's got to that point where they've gone, well, we've smashed it. We've got to the Champions League, we're flying. And forgotten that the hard work has to start again because it's a new season. We're back to 0 points. Everything's reset. They're still riding high off the inertia of last season. I will caveat that with the fact that their fixture list has been horrendous. And I think that once they start getting to those easier games, they will pick up the points. They will get back to where they should be. But considering people were saying they could fight for the title this year, they really should have been putting in a better fight against teams like Manchester City, Liverpool and Brighton.
At this rate, they will finish comfortably 8th.
They should get
they look like
some form of...
But they look like they're going to waltz the bottom 12 and struggle against the top 7.
Yeah, it depends who's right up there, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I think, as you say, I've had a tough run. But from a Brighton point of view, I said at the start, I feel like we've only seen 60-70% of Brighton's pure ability. I think today we are seeing 80-90%. We're seeing top-end Brighton because they're doing what they usually do. That 67% is them holding onto the ball, playing around the That extra 10-20% is when they take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they're doing today. They got their goal, they've looked like they could score again, and to us, the momentum is the same as it was in the first half. The second half will be an easy win for Brighton.
Yeah, a bit of a different question then. Who do you think is most likely to finish second in the Premier League right now? Yeah, to call it. Based off what we've seen so far, based off how you think teams will...
So, start of season for United, but that is looking horrific right now. I mean,
it feels like nobody's going to finish anywhere. Like, I look at every team right now, well, they're bad.
In terms of second, if we're talking form, I say Tottenham, and it hurts.
That would have been my shout as well. Because I look at Arsenal and United, and I know we'll obviously talk about them more tomorrow. That's going to be a great game. They'll join us. They'll be live from 4:15.
Both sides again. Similar to Newcastle,
a massive point to prove.
Again, we're saying 50% of both their abilities, maybe even less for United.
Have we? No. It worries me. I think it should worry United fans that maybe we have seen.
So for Arsenal, though, we know how good they can be.
Yeah. United should be a bit more secure. Do you think that Sophie and Amrabat will start tomorrow?
No.
Okay, so they will lose then.
Yeah. But we'll predict that tomorrow. I think Tottenham look very good.
Yeah, that's
so we're talking on form. I say Tottenham, but we know the Premier League shakes out. Could be Liverpool.
I don't know about Liverpool.
Honestly,
have they been tested?
City going to waltz it again, and not because they are playing out their skin.
Newcastle threw it away against them. Chelsea should have beaten them. Even Bournemouth probably should have. They'll probably beat Villa tomorrow despite having like 3 shots.
That's again another cracking game. Villa have kind of the opposite of everyone else. Started horrifically and have looked really good since.
The guy saying we'll Chelsea finish above 10th. I think we will. I think we'll be back in Europe this year. I said Champions League, but at the start...
We'll get Europe.
I don't know.
There's 34 games to go. I'm positive until we're 19th on match week 10, and I'm not positive no longer.
It just feels like there isn't really I don't know, there is a focus to recruitment, but it doesn't feel like we're building a squad. We're just getting loads of really good players. Like, they all fit, but it doesn't really make any sense. Like, we've got Madueke, Sterling and Palmer who all play the same position. Why do we need
Palmer? I love Palmer. I think he's a really good player, but we don't need... Why do we need him?
It's a lot of the recruitment that doesn't really make much sense. We come into the season with one fit senior striker, which I really don't understand. Yeah. I fully back Armando Broa. I think he's going to be great, but if Jackson goes down with an injury, Raheem Sterling's our number 9.
Well, Broa's back now, isn't he?
He's not fit, I believe.
Is he not? Oh, dear.
I think he's back to full fitness at least. He's got to play.
I think Chelsea get you. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put the question out there. How long do we give Poch? Because it's one winning in our first 4, and it should have been 3.
End of the season. For me.
No matter what happens.
Well, we're in the relegation zone at Christmas, then I might have some questions, yeah.
I think as I said, we're in 19th after 10 games. I think he has to go.
I don't know. I really don't know, because I feel like while we've done everything we can to really support Poch in the market, we've bought players that make sense. It does just feel like we are just building a squad.
Yeah.
There's no real character to it.
I mean, Chelsea need to turn their season around. Newcastle need to turn this game around. How can they do that?
Chelsea or Newcastle?
Newcastle.
Okay. Newcastle, they need to stop giving Brighton so much space.
Just stop.
Yeah, they need to take a minute and stop. But they also need to be a bit more aggressive.
Look, they want it.
Brighton have got space and time because Newcastle aren't pushing up on at all. And when they do, Brighton just play around them and score. Maybe they can't. Brighton are too good. You can't stop them. They'll just keep passing it around you all night. But
I think it is that case as well. Like, show yourself a bit. Don't. I'm not saying go like 10 seconds in, fly at their ankles, but put your body weight into it. Put yourself around. Make them feel uneasy, because that's what West Ham did. Brighton had the ball, but Antonio just ran at Dunk, and Dunk went, oh shit, and then they score.
Dara Azizi asking, are Brighton the new Leicester when they won the league? No. The difference between the two is that Leicester got fortunate with a few very smart pieces of recruitment. They sold them on, and then their squad was weakened.
And the differences.
And, well, I think Leicester probably would have kept using that same sort of model to be successful, similar to what Brighton are now. But Brighton take a much more statistical and analytical approach to recruitment. It's a lot less about the eye test. That is a major factor, of course, to any recruitment strategy. But it's much more about those underlying numbers and looking at how they stack up against some of the rest, finding those profiles of players that fit the... They don't even really need to fit... They look at profile players that fit the system for their manager, but that could also suit systems of any manager that plays a similar brand of football. So if De Zerbi does go, they'll have another manager lined up who can play brilliant possession-based football, who would be able to use those players in the same way. Similar to how when they lost Graham Potter, they brought in Roberto De Zerbi. So they're very good in recruitment in that regard. So I don't think they're the same as Leicester, simply because they seem to have a lot more of a long-term plan, and it's successful.
Yeah. I think on that Leicester story, it'll be a while before we see anything like that again, because they had two things. One was momentum. They won, and then they kept winning, and then they didn't stop winning because they love winning. And the second thing is they had a massive underperformance from every other strong side in the league. Every single top six, every single one of the big six was 10% off the pace at least. Because Tottenham pushed them a little bit, and then they lost the Battle of the Bridge, because that was brilliant. But I think it'll be very rare before we see another Leicester.
Chessman saying we need another forward because Jackson go away in January. This is the sort of ridiculousness that I find with Chelsea fans, and I don't want to have a go at you, Chelsea fan, but it's just more of a general comment. Is Jackson's been fantastic. Jackson's been so good in our first 3 games. I love how lively he is. I definitely agree he needs to be more clinical, but I love how lively he is. He is a fantastic mould of striker. He's a very good. He seems very good. Very, very, very good profile. Profile's nicely, but He's not scored many yet because he's not very clinical yet. But he will score goals.
In terms of obviously
It will take time though for him to
as you say,
adapt.
Joe's fan, he will go to AFCON, but I think we'll build around that. We've got Breuer and Kunku will be back by then, so I think we should be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
And we really need to recall David Fofana.
Yeah,
Which will be fun. Hooray.
Even if Chelsea were 19th at Christmas, I don't think it's Poch's fault. Chelsea just seem aimless, don't know what they're doing. I don't even think that's true. I think at the moment it just seems to be really, really unfortunate. Chelsea are recruiting well. They're buying players that on paper make a whole lot of sense, but for whatever reason, when they throw a Chelsea shirt on, they play bad. But also, it will take time. We've built a whole new squad twice. It's going to take time for the players to adapt. The problem is Chelsea fans jump on their back immediately, the media jump on their backs immediately, and then the pressure's on and they play.
Exactly, it's pressure and momentum. Momentum's a massive thing. Sterling, his performances against West Ham and Luton were brilliant, but that just wasn't there today. It wasn't the same Sterling that was magical. You know, people saying we saw 2017 Raz against West Ham and Luton.
Yeah.
But this is the question. Chelsea's got to find out, why wasn't that there today? Why didn't he play like that?
I don't even know if that's necessarily true, though. I don't think he was particularly bad at all.
I don't think he was bad, but he wasn't as good as he was.
There are some odd choices. I mean, I don't really get a lot of our team selection. I don't really know why Chilwell is still playing left wing. He can't play there. That doesn't make much sense to me. I think Gallagher's still playing as attack midfielder. I'd have brought someone in to play there, or I think Palmer will probably start there from now on, but
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like it's very weird. But on another day, the chances get finished, Chelsea win the game. I mean, if you look at the stats, 76% to 24% possession, 2.13 xG to 0.71 xG. The play style is there. Chelsea playing very well. 21 shots to 7. 21 to 7.
Yeah.
There's such a high difference in the XG. For me, it's just about finishing those chances. It's unfortunate that Chelsea don't finish chances really, because if Jackson prods home the open goal, and then we get one of our other 20 shots in the back of the net, we come away with a win, and nobody's saying it's a bad day.
Yeah. Both you guys said it was a definite red card against McAllister, and look what happened. Yeah. I think on reflection, maybe it wasn't a red card. But I think just after it happened, watching it...
Against Bournemouth?
No. Yes.
Where he went studs up. I thought it was a red card still. But I guess it's soft.
I think if you look at the amount of contact that was there, then it's one of those. It's a grey area, isn't it?
That's the problem. The rules are so ambiguous. You can read them however you want. That's how the Premier League referees get away with it.
But the contact was minimal. The intent wasn't there, but...
Also, what I've learned from this weekend is you can handball it in the box and...
I mean, yeah.
No one notices.
I mean, that's something West Ham have also got pretty lucky with, isn't it?
I mean, could have easily dropped points last night.
Got a penalty against Chelsea. They're playing volleyball against Luton.
And Enzo missed one against West Ham.
And I mean, they drew Bournemouth in the opener.
Yeah.
Teams now come back out.
The thing is, if you give these young talented guys 7-year contracts, where does the motivation come from? They just sit back, so they're getting that paycheck regardless. They're sorted till they're 30. I think but they're still young, hungry, and want to be good footballers. I think they want to play football. No, is that not where the motivation comes from?
I think if today was 4-0 Forest, then yes, panic. But it was 1-0.
Yeah.
We were better. Let's reset. We've got a big second half coming up. It's going to be brilliant second half. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Chelsea fan agrees that Luton should have got a penalty yesterday. Yeah, absolutely robbed. Anyway, Newcastle will get us started in this second 45 then. An eventful first half. Isak knocks it back and we get started in the second half. Brighton 1-0 up at the break. Can Newcastle turn it around? Will Brighton push on? It's going to be exciting either way. Isak holds up the ball well. This is a bit more encouraging. Newcastle already trying to come forward and we're only 20 seconds in the half. Here is Kieran Trippier.
Yeah.
Shaw.
They've got to respond to Newcastle.
Target. Yeah. I think the length of contracts is sensationalised, says Anthony. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Because a lot of players have 5-year contracts and stuff like that, and no one ever really questions whether that
also
hurts their motivation.
A lot of players will have a 4-year deal and then sign a 3-year deal. And that's 7 years. Chelsea should do it in one because it saves time. Much easier.
Yeah, it's risky if the players do badly.
It is.
But it's brilliant if the players do well.
Gordon on the chase. Van Hecker. How is it out?
But yeah. I think for me, I don't know, there are footballers that are motivated by the paycheck, of course. But the majority of Premier League footballers will be motivated by football.
I'll say 70% of them are already in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So they've been culled now.
Or America.
Yeah.
Or China.
I think overall Chelsea's window's been excellent. We've signed some fantastic players.
It's not winter just yet.
Window.
Oh, we said winter.
The players will still have incentivised bonuses in the contract. Exactly, Anthony.
So I'm sure that a lot.
But also, they'll want to play Champions League football.
Yeah.
They'll want to be winning Premier League titles. That's just a natural ambition for players.
I think there must be something there because players like Palmer have left a title-winning, treble-winning Man City side to join a non-European football Chelsea side.
Because the project is exciting. There is a lot of talent there.
Yeah, look at the players. In 5 years, we could be the best team in the world. Once Pep Guardiola's left Man City.
But it's going to take time and patience and letting the squad grow rather than Chelsea fans immediately jumping on the back and going, oh, it's going to be another terrible season. All this. The negativity around the club at the moment is such a problem. And it's because it's almost like a lot of the fans are a bit spoiled. Gonna be honest, they're not used to not winning things. Now, I think the core of Chelsea's following, the older generation will be like, will feel annoyed because they already had to put up with Chelsea not being a great club when they bought them throughout their childhood. Then they were brilliant. Now, stagnated over the last 5 years. And I think similar stuff like that. I feel like. Yeah. Also, we've got there's a very big and a large young fan base at Chelsea, and I feel like a lot of them will be people that have never seen Chelsea do badly. Same here. I'm someone who's never seen Chelsea do badly.
No, apart from the odd Mourinho season.
Yeah, I was born. Chelsea won the Premier League.
Chelsea don't mind Mourinho seasons because they usually mean that the year before that's been bloody brilliant.
You also sound Salah but hardly played him. Yeah, I know, Dara, but all make mistakes. I feel like Palmer and Lavia are very similar in a sense to those Salah and De Bruyne deals. So I was trying to get those revenge. We've bought players that from those bigger clubs. I think we'll look back in a couple of years and say 45 million for Cole Palmer was a steal.
But I hope so. That's what Brighton do. They do a lot of steals. They do some brilliant signings. They've got some they go around that bargain bucket, find what they can find, and they usually pay off. And they also usually from South America.
Yeah. To try being a Liverpool fan, started off thinking Bellingham was a possibility, and finishing with the possibility of Salah leaving. When has a rebuild gone like that before? Yeah, no.
From a Liverpool point of view, I'd say lucky against Chelsea to get a point, saved it from the death against Newcastle. Had to retrieve it from a goal behind against Bournemouth, and what was the other game? Oh, they got Villa tomorrow, which could go either way. Because is it Anfield or Villa? It's at Anfield, isn't it? So
the problem I think Liverpool have at the moment is you can't rebuild when you've got the same manager that's been there for 7 years, really, because the system's still the same, the ethos around the squad is still the same. There's no breath of fresh air. It's gonna feel the same.
Yeah.
But also, you can't rebuild if you don't sign any footballers. That doesn't help either.
No. I want to recall Endo, Szoboszlai and
McAllister, Gravenberch.
Asher's midfield rebuild.
Which they needed, but that's also not a very good midfield rebuild.
No.
The two attack midfielders, a DM and...
before Endo, that midfield of McAllister, Gakpo and Szoboszlai was fun.
That was.
It wasn't there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like obviously Klopp is a legend and he's done so well for Liverpool. But I think they should be starting to look at who would be his replacement, especially considering Julian Nagelsmann is available. I don't know how many times I need to say it. He is such a good coach. I'm intrigued to see how they line up because they've looked pretty decent. I think Arsenal is the big question mark for me because they're the only team that haven't faced a challenge. Newcastle played everyone in their nan. Villa have played Newcastle and have got Liverpool tomorrow. United have already played Tottenham. Yeah. City have already played... I said that one. Liverpool have played Chelsea. I'm intrigued to see how Arsenal do tomorrow because that's their first big test. Brighton hadn't. Now they're showing they're up for the challenge. Pedro. But they did also have a bit of a mare against West Ham for no reason.
They did do that. But Arsenal have struggled against little sides, not little sides.
Yeah.
Can't call them little sides.
The players that come in I have no problem with. The problem is the expectation was for more. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I still feel, though, that Liverpool's recruitment's been a bit misguided. Like, Szoboszlai and McAllister is a very, very similar...
I don't know.
I
don't know how Anthony feels about it. But that is... I'd be worried about Liverpool's centre-half situation.
Yeah.
Van Dijk is 31 and has got a year left. Matip's out of contract at the end of the season. He's 30.
Konate's injury prone.
Konate's injury prone. And then you're looking at Joe Gomez and that...
could still leave for Saudi Arabia in the next few weeks.
Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like Klopp isn't bothered. Does he feel like this is his last year? Does he feel like he's only got 2 years left?
I don't think the reason there's not been any investment is Klopp's fault.
I know, because,
I think he'd make more transfers if he could.
Oh,
Pedro!
Oh, good defending.
Good. Get him back in there, Bruno Guimaraes.
I mean, that's the problem, though. They don't want to spend it because they're trying to sell the club, aren't they? I take it they are still trying to sell it. Not actively looking to sell it, but it is on the market.
We see here Newcastle, they were a club that had to do a rebuild. They have gone about it in such a good way. They know the positions they need to go and get a player in, and they get them. They knew they needed a maximum replacement.
People thought, oh my God, Saudis, let's get Neymar. I'm not getting Neymar. I'll go get Gordon, and I'll go get Isak, and I'll go get Bruno Guimaraes, and I'll go get Sandro fucking Tonali.
That's a fantastic sign.
That is fantastic.
And they look at the player, they look at the position they need, they look at the kind of profile that we're wanting, and then they go out and find that player.
And what do we need in that team? We need an experienced fullback in Kieran Trippier. We need Botman, who has European pedigree.
After that, they looked at it, and when we don't have a backup to Trippier for Europe next season, go and pick up Tino Livramento.
Yeah, forget Livramento. This is good for Newcastle. They need to get back in this game, though.
I'm still concerned about their depth at left back, but...
And right wing.
Yeah.
Because Matt Target... Sorry, if you play Matt Target PSG, they will get battered.
Yeah.
I do need to see that now.
Dom, Alexis, Endo and Gravenberch all range from good to excellent. Matip and Gomez are injury prone, and Konate's had an injury every season he's been there. Well, exactly.
And Van Dijk's contract. He's 31 years of age. He's only got 1 year left. He'll be 32 at the end of his contract. He's only got 2 years left maximum. And to be honest, he hasn't looked like the same Van Dijk from 2019. I'm not saying he's not very good, but look at this. Van Dijk in 2019 does not do what he did last Sunday.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that Szoboszlai and McAllister are bad players, but I think they might be bad signings. Because I don't really know why.
They felt like they weren't the necessity. Oh, hang on, Pedro back in the box. That is poor from Trippier. What? Oh, that is also poor from Pedro.
Flick it back and then fouls.
Very poor from Pedro. If I'm Brighton, I'd give one not a go because at this rate, Pedro does question. I don't know why you buy a player from Watford.
Jeff Pedro's a good player.
He is a good player, but he hasn't proven it yet. He scored against Luton.
He did.
That's Luton.
He's also not been really given an opportunity.
No,
that's the only game he started.
Really good.
And then he's been given a game here against Newcastle where he's been fine.
Yeah. Target. Oh, work with. He won a throw, hasn't he?
I'm going to throw smart there from Solly March. But yeah, I think for Liverpool, they need a midfield rebuild this summer. They've bought the wrong profiles.
Yeah.
Because they've gone on the assumption that Trent will always be an inverted wing back, which it feels a little bit.
How long can they get away with playing Trent as Alexander fullback?
I don't know. Because
look at last Sunday.
I think you can get away with it, but you need to rebuild the system to almost be like a.
I mean, it'd be interesting.
Something like a 4-3-3, which transition to 3-5-2 would work really nicely. I think because you could have your left winger just pulls out wide, someone like a Luis Diaz. So he's a very good inside forward.
Yeah,
I understand that, but for the sake of talking about the system, Trent pushes up, plays as a right midfielder, right wing back type role. Robertson comes into that back three. Sort of what they do now, but just at the moment Trent goes into midfield rather than out to wide. But I think he's so much better in wide areas where he can put deliveries into the box than coming into midfield. The problem for Trent is he burst into the scene in an era where fullbacks could fly forwards, and because no other side pressed Liverpool like Liverpool pressed other teams, it didn't really matter. Yeah. Because they could just fly forwards and they'd be fine. They'd overload them, get the balls in and score goals. The problem is, since 2019, football has evolved, Premier League football has evolved, and there are other sides in the Premier League which are incredible at pressing, like Brighton.
Newcastle need something, and they're going to the bench. Triple change coming up. It'll be Wilson, Barnes, and Longstaff coming on. You'd expect that to be Isak, Gordon, and Joelinton. Or Tonali.
Yeah.
Tonali's an interesting one. I feel like everyone went mental because he scored on his debut against Villa. Since then, he's looked decently average.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Joelinton dispossessed in the middle of the pitch. That's sloppy. That's probably why he's going to come off in a minute. Ferguson. No, Matt Target as well, getting back, and then he's caught late by the Irish international. And that Newcastle free kick. Are they going to make the changes now? They might well rethink their change though, because Matt Target's still on the floor. Matt Target is... I don't really know what he's doing. He looks alright, should be fine.
Anthony says, I hate the system, to be honest. Really, really do. Bandwagon jumping, and that's never good. It almost feels like Klopp's out of ideas. I don't want to put, I don't want to be too thingy about it, but
like, that works for that team.
He's always been really famous for obviously his gegenpressing style. The problem is now that's not really working anymore.
No,
gegenpressing doesn't really work because other sides have just added pressing to their possession-based style of play. So it means that they basically just it doesn't really work. It can work in a sense, but he's not tried to make it work.
I think we need to see Liverpool properly though, because obviously first game of the season is always his first game of the season, and the other two games they've had a man be sent off.
But you can still look at this back half of last season as a good understanding of how the system maybe doesn't work.
Of course, they haven't really had a look at the system recently because they've been down 10 men. Obviously, they had to check. Like Luis Diaz, brilliant form, and then they had to bring him off in the 28th minute against Newcastle. The front three always interests me. Who do you play? Who starts tomorrow? Núñez probably starts tomorrow.
The thing is, in the Premier League right now, we've got some of the greatest tacticians ever, really.
Yeah.
I think that, De Zerbi, tactical mastermind. Pep Guardiola, the greatest tactician ever. And why... you look at City and Liverpool, they both had great starts and really good at the end of the last decade. The difference is now, Pep's evolved his tactic and changed his tactic to be more dominant, whereas Klopp hasn't. And now he's trying to jump on what Pep's doing and it's not really working.
No.
So, I don't know. I feel like maybe Klopp and Liverpool needs to change. I don't know.
Maybe. Tomorrow will be interesting. I'm intrigued to see what 11 he puts out, because that could be anyone, to be honest.
I think Liverpool have a good balance in midfield, says Dara Azizi. What gives you that impression? I think Endo's a good DM. I think McAllister can play deeper, but you've got two attacking midfielders there, two creative midfielders. Who's the legs in there? McAllister can't really run. Szoboszlai can't really run.
But not run.
Yeah, of course.
They're
not unfit.
Running. He walks everywhere.
They're not 2016 Perle, 2015 Perle. No, they just surrounded him with Paul Pogba and co, so he could just stand there and ping balls about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that midfield doesn't work. Like this United midfield.
I can't believe how far Liverpool look so different to that 2019 Premier League winning side.
Yeah, Adara also says not sure why people aren't talking about Doak. I think he's a good player. Yeah, I haven't really
He's a good player, but they've got Shota, Núñez, Diaz,
they also have one right winger.
Salah. They do.
So you'd like to think Doak will play all the Europa.
Who starts tomorrow? Anthony, I want to go 11 for tomorrow. I mean, Chasey, because front three's interesting. Defensively, obviously with Van Dijk's red card, you're probably looking at Matip and Gomez.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins.
I mean, he makes some really good points. Star might start tomorrow, and it will make me pull my hair out. Yeah, it feels like he should be rewarded for that performance against Newcastle.
But I'd expect it's probably going to be Diaz, Shota, and Salah.
Probably, yeah. Or Diaz, Gakpo, Salah.
Yeah. Then who's playing the field? I'm forgetting someone.
Watchalong,
yeah. No, I was forgetting someone.
Because Doak is 17 years old, seen so many preseason wonders leave under clouds of what ifs. Yeah. It does feel like very few players come through the Liverpool Academy.
Well, yeah, Elliot, Bajcetic, and
No.
were they not? It's Bajcetic, isn't he?
Bajcetic,
Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
And Isak's coming forward here.
Trent.
Defending.
Not
Yeah.
Elliot. Elliot came through at Fulham.
Oh,
And they bought him from Fulham.
Well, I don't know why I want to do that. You know, I think so. Yeah, you have only had Bajcetic and Doak and Trent.
But that's since 2015.
That's it. So yeah,
And that's not even just like players that have been integrated to the first team. That's players that have played for the first.
yeah. Even City have got pretty likes of
I mean, they
Palmer.
are now integrating Jarrell Quansah, which is an interesting one. I think he's a good player.
I mean, I know him from being, playing well in the non-league on FM.
He always gets released by Liverpool. You go pick him up because he's huge and plays centre half. Sheffield clearing it away.
Yeah.
It's like Billy Gilmore giving press. I believe it is.
Yeah. But Liverpool did make... Sorry, Newcastle did make that triple change. But hasn't really had much of an effect so far.
Dominic can run, plus we have Jones and Elliott. Yeah, but they don't start with Jones and Elliott, do they? That's what I'm saying. If you play one of Elliott, if you play one of McAllister or Watchalong midfield, I get that. That's your creative midfielder. That's someone that can pick up the ball, make stuff happen, take shots from range, that sort of stuff. But you play them both. That doesn't, lovely two conductors, but that leaves you very open. It's easy to play through you. And if you play an Elliott or Jones in there, yeah, they've got legs.
I have to realise that it is Isak and Wilson together. Gordon's gone to the right. Is it 4-2-4?
Where's Gordon?
On the right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Who's on the left?
Barnes.
There's 4-2-4 then, yeah.
Wow. Eddie Howe's going for it then.
But yeah. Caden says, thoughts on Saudi willing to pay up to 400 million for Salah?
No.
I mean, if it is up to 400 million, then you've Salah. I mean, Liverpool would be stupid not to take it.
That's
because you'd have your FFP sorted for the next
400 million.
Good few years.
That is, it's honestly, football's gone. Football is absolutely gone if that happens.
Yeah.
I don't think it will though, because Liverpool can't replace him. I don't think
they'll look at it and go, well, we'll probably this first half of the season then.
For 400 million.
For 400 million.
I don't think it'll get that.
And they could probably get by playing a left wing or on the right wing for a bit. Diaz.
I don't think that'll happen.
There.
But I mean, I think it will happen eventually when Salah's older. But it won't happen. It won't happen now. And it won't happen for 400 million.
I don't know. We'll see.
I hope not. Anyway. Ali, Roy, Matip, Gomez, Trent, Endo, Don, Alexis, Diaz, Jota, Salah. Fair enough. So no, is that what you expect to play rather than because you probably put Nunez up front and that's about it. Because
does it not? Like I look at a Matip Gomez centre back partnership and say that's supposed to be one of the best.
I'll tell you what,
teams in the Premier League.
Up against Watkins and Diaby tomorrow, that is going to be a struggle.
Exactly.
And you look at
Matip was good.
Matty Cash
5 years
against
ago.
Robbo. Matty Cash was brilliant on the right. And then the left hand side, anyone, John McGinn's going to scored.
I'm going to re-rate Joe Gomez. I don't think he's Liverpool quality. I think he's Premier League quality. I don't think he's Liverpool quality.
And I think that's why he's there. He's versatile.
Yeah, he is a good rotation option because he covers lots of areas. I get that. That's why they kept James Milner for so long.
I like James Milner.
But if he's not very good at covering those areas, it doesn't really matter how many areas he covers.
No,
just buy a backup right back Liverpool. They've never bought a backup to Trent. They just used to put Milner there. Now they put Gomez there. Seems really nonsensical to me. I haven't really given Ramsey a shot. Keep it in that luck when people says chess fan. Yeah, how many are we on? 9 likes. If one more person could like that. Oh, what a strike! And Brighton have a second. Ferguson has a second. He's took strike from range. Burying it in the bottom corner. Brighton 2, Newcastle 0.
Caught off guard with that one because that came out of absolutely nowhere.
He just saw that he was under no pressure.
And again, similar to the first one. Gilmore under no pressure and it was saved down to Ferguson. That one wasn't saved down to Ferguson. That is a rocket. And we spoke at the start. How good can this man become? How good is he right now? He is class. Dunk does again. Newcastle give them time. They give him too much time.
Gilmore second assist in the game as well.
He turns the pitch. No one pressing him down.
He bases it so well.
I mean, I don't know why Pope's not in.
To generate that sort of power and precision from that sort of range,
what a hit!
It's excellent. It's not one where you just strike it hard and it curls in the top corner. He has thumped that.
He's
and it's a lovely effort.
And Pope is beaten. Again, to questions about his positioning.
And Newcastle side here in the week, we're finding out who they're playing in the Champions League. are staring down the barrel of a third defeat in 3 games.
But I mean, what a response from Brighton from the game against West Ham. They have looked superb today. Newcastle, it feels, I know there's still 24 minutes left, but it feels like it's going to be back to the drawing board again for Eddie Howe. And what is going wrong?
And a double for Evan Ferguson now. He's so good. He's so good. The marksman of the up-and-coming golden generation for Ireland.
Oh, boy. Hi, Daz, and Ferguson got the first. He's got 2 now.
Yeah, welcome, by the way. Yeah. Antti also says, I honestly think Brighton will finish higher than Liverpool. It's how I feel about the season right now. I look at Brighton, and I think they're going to win the league.
Easy. They lost to West Ham, yes.
Isak gives it to Barnes, plays it across. Someone's got to be making that. Gordon, and it's wide.
Thumbs up their day. Thumbs up their day.
They're missing easy chances.
Because that goes in. That goes in.
That should go in.
They're on, yeah, that should go in. And as soon as we saw against Liverpool, chances like that did not go in and they lost the game. Again here, chances like this need to be buried. And Gordon looked brilliant against Liverpool, but this has to hit the target. He's put it wide, and that is well wide. He's hit the back post, which is holding up the goal. That's how wide it is.
Claim, I don't know how they claim a penalty, though. I don't know. I think it looked like a foul from Wilson on Dunk. Oh. If that's given us soft.
It's not. I don't know what they're highlighting. Wilson would have got there. Wilson was nowhere near it.
Yeah.
Touch from that.
Beltman.
Brilliant. John.
Showing his quality.
Oh, the youngsters look really cool.
John
Beltman. I've done Joe and then John, and I knew it wasn't Joe or John, and it's now a yellow card for Matthew Target, and Brighton tried to play it quickly, March wanted to, ref's not having it, and Burns cleared it into Rose's. Chaos. 20 minutes to go, Brighton in control.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind if they bought off a Superman.
It made me laugh that it was Gordon that scored versus Liverpool and lost. It was very sweet, like Richarlison scoring and losing as well. Richarlison and Tottenham hasn't worked.
And I don't think it ever will.
Interesting.
I
mean, it says a lot about Richarlison. I've been backing him this season. I really thought he was going to do well because he had a good pre-season and he fits the type of striker, the profile striker that Ange Postecoglou likes in his system. That's brilliant for Barber Brugge, by the way. So confident. 20 years old, second ever Premier League start, and you're ball rolling past players on your own goal line. But yeah, I look at what was I talking about? Richarlison. I think for me, the fact that Son came into the side and scored a hat-trick day reflects really poorly on him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
And that's a real problem for Richarlison.
Quite literally the words that come out of my mouth. That's crazy.
I've also just been informed that we missed a police chase down our street during this stream. So that's good fun. Honestly, the best things happen while we stream.
Turned in like all the regulars. We've had a fire engine have to stop a flood
Recently.
We've had a police chase, and we've had.
What's going to happen during Arsenal Man United tomorrow then?
We had a fireman be picked up from the side of the road.
Just over the pub over the road. Fireman got picked up.
He's down a pub. He's going, I need you, mate. And he's gone, oh, Christ. A lot is going on.
It's always while we're streaming. Burn.
Crazy.
Driving out of defence. And he's lost the ball. Gross.
One day to be asked in trouble.
March. Ferguson. I mean, he's doing so well in that role, isn't he? Billy Gilmore now gives it to Mitoma. Mitoma comes inside, plays it to Ferguson. He opens up his body for a shot and it's deflected in. That will count as Ferguson's goal, though, I believe. It's a hat-trick for Evan Ferguson. The Irish marksman hits 3. Brighton find a 3rd and Newcastle are down and out in this game.
Now it's getting embarrassing for
the first Premier League hat-trick, I believe, for Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, he is having a brilliant day. Brilliant day for the youngster. And again, as I said for the second, as I said for the first, proving just how good he is. I know it's almost deflected, but to be in that position, to score the goal, brilliant. Again, it's brilliant build-up play. Gilmore, again, he has been phenomenal today. Mitoma does really well. Shifts it off to Ferguson.
And this is on his weak foot.
Was it going in with that deflection? I don't know. I hope it was, because that means it'll be a Mitoma assist. But
I took him out for Sterling.
Was it going wide? No, it's going in. So it should be a Ferguson goal.
Because while that is a significant direction change, it was a shot on target.
You can say it's lucky deflected, but look at the way Newcastle try and block it. It's lazy. Both Shah and Burn.
Fast.
Literally, if you watch his body language, he's just stood up. He stood directly up and sticks a leg out, and it hits his standing back leg and goes in. They're not bothered. It's lazy, and this is the problem. They look rubbish, Newcastle. They look really poor. Although he's actually just taken it. That is brilliant. And
so wish I'd done Ferguson in FPL now.
With 90 minutes to go, this is threatening to get silly for Newcastle. Very silly.
Yeah.
And take your hat off to Evan Ferguson. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He will be one of the greatest. He'll be a brilliant Premier League striker.
Yeah, he fits that sort of Harry Kane mould of just an excellent marksman. Just doesn't really miss a chance.
And whenever he gets out, that's
just seeing with anyone in FPL mini leagues has Ferguson.
Smart from João Pedro there. Just cutting across Bruno and wins the free kick. Really good day at the office for Brighton. They respond. I questioned how they were going to respond, how good they looked against West Ham, but they have answered anyone's questions as to where they'll be this season. That is at sharp end. Newcastle have question marks. They've lost to 10-man Liverpool when they were 1-0 up. They've been torn apart by a Brighton side. They've been dominated by a City side, and they've torn apart an Aston Villa side. What a random array of fixtures. It is just like, when are they going to sort this out?
I mean, they got Brentford next, which could go one of two ways, because Brentford have looked so up and down this season. They're either Brentford are going to win 3-0 or draw 1-0. But, yeah.
It's crazy. It is absolutely mental.
Ferguson, by the way, is stated by just 4.7% of players in FPL. He's also had a price drop this season.
First career hat-trick. Take a bow, mate. Take a bow. And here comes... Oh, hang on,
Jamal Lascelles and Harvey Barnes for Newcastle.
I thought he already just swears on the pitch. I mean, Jamal Lascelles, he's had a rough time of it, hasn't he, this week? Getting in a bar fight with him and his brother. Well, not getting into one, but protecting himself and his brother.
He's a mediator, I believe, is what's been said on that. Take Brighton players out of FPL team, Jack said. Thank you, TSC Catering. Well, I think I'm still right, because Mitoma today, 8 points? How much has he got? 3 plus an assist.
Will he get the assist?
7.
I don't think we'll get the assist because it's deflected.
No, that's the other shot. Oh no!
Yeah, it was
the deflected one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it counts as a Ferguson goal.
Yeah, true.
That counts as a Mitoma assist.
Estupiñán clean sheet 6.
6. Unless you've got Ferguson, which nobody does.
Gilmore got 2 assists.
Nobody has Billy Gilmore. Let's be honest. I love the guy. No one has Billy Gilmore. Nobody has Billy Gilmore.
But I mean, I hope Brighton is going to score, because
Brighton play the likes of City and Liverpool in the next few. They've got who they got next week?
Who says they won't beat them?
They got United 2 weeks time.
Don't know.
I think so. I think we're live for it.
But I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah, man. United. I know it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. We're not live for it.
Yeah, no, we're not live that weekend, I think.
We are live on Friday night for some championship action.
We're not doing the 16th and 17th. Pedro.
You're going out clubbing.
I'm not going out clubbing.
Gilmore slipped over. Longstaff. Wow. I thought Longstaff was going to prove to all the haters why he should be the best.
I like Sean Longstaff. But that's Newcastle's problem. You 2-0 down to Brighton, who you bringing on Sean Longstaff. No offence to him, but he's Sean Longstaff.
Yeah. I think I've got both Ferguson vice captain and Haaland captains as Kane.
I mean, if you've got any Newcastle defenders, and now Burns been booked, if Brighton score again, you're looking at -1.
Only one person started Son in TFC League. Really? Ferguson not owned by a single person in the TFC League. Wow.
How do you find that out?
I imagine something like Live FPL or something will be able to.
Oh, wait, does the FPL bot in the Discord tell us? If you haven't joined the Discord yet, get in there. We have some great discussions.
We do.
Gary puts
It's been
quizzes
great.
in there.
Yeah.
We talk about all the football that happens every single day.
It's 3 o'clock today, all chatting about it. So, yeah, get involved, get in the Discord. It's a great Discord.
And
the community's thriving on there.
To a standing ovation around the Amex Stadium, Evan Ferguson.
He's put a shift in, and no, it's Billy Gilmore.
They're both coming off, I think.
No, they're not.
No. What? What number's Ferguson?
28.
Ah.
Might have to cop an Evan Ferguson shirt, you know.
Yeah. João Pedro off for Tarek Lamptey.
Yeah. That is Tarek Lamptey.
Yeah, I'll just wait out how it's going to work. And Mahmoud Dahoud.
Oh, for Billy Gilmore. I imagine Lamptey will go to right wing, no? Or something like that. I don't even know how that works.
No, I
don't think
don't.
I'll attack midfield, is he?
Maybe.
We'll find out next minute. Right. Yeah, Lamptey's playing left.
Back.
I thought maybe they put a Stupinan, but they haven't. That's a Stupinan.
That is a stupid hand. But look at that. How Newcastle was so... They basically showing their defensive record was so much better in the first 20 games of the Premier League since last season to this the next 22. They've been so much off the pace in the second half of last year and the start of this year.
Anthony, going to drop, lads. Enjoy the rest of the stream in the weekend. Thank you, mate. We are live tomorrow if you're about, so feel free to join us. And yeah, glad you've joined us for the stream.
Come down at Liverpool and they've probably lost to Villa. Thanks for me, mate.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Chelsea fan going as well. See you for the Arsenal United game.
So everyone's seen enough goals now. Still got 13 minutes left. Me too, I put the pressure on. My FPL game will now be topped if me can score a goal. That means every single one of my midfielders is
I'll be furious if he does. I'll take him out this week.
Ball in, cut like dunk. If he scores, then it'll only be Saka tomorrow. I mean, honestly, about 17,000 Brighton players have gone down in the space of the last minute. Pedro's down, Gilmore's down, Ferguson's down. Meetimer's telling everyone that everyone's okay. Of course he is. Love Meetimer. Stupian's also recovering from something. Bring him off. Take his clean sheet. Let him get 6 points. Make sure he's not injured.
How many people are in the TFC FPL? Asked Caden. I want to say 600.
Yeah, last year we had over 1,000. This year, what?
No, we didn't. We wanted over 1,000 this year.
Okay.
We had 500 last year.
So gone up the season.
I believe so.
Hey!
Because most people renew and then we add more people,
Yeah.
don't we? So theoretically, you should never go down in members of an FPL league.
Because people get added.
Yeah, 650. People are still joining.
Yeah, good.
Got a couple of people on like 20, 30, 50 points. Someone on 0. Scored 48 this week though, so presumably.
Response, yeah.
Start Captain Rodri though, so that's 2 points. Had Haaland 17.
Yeah, Gary's saying 600 plus. Yes, strong league. So if you top it, that's pretty big. I think I'm 58 at the moment. Before today's game.
158. Let's have a look.
56.
I was in the top 100. I dropped to 144 last night because I took a -4 hit and didn't have any West Ham players. And I think a lot of people around me in the TFC league are going to have Ward-Prowse and Bowen and stuff like that. So, and maybe I don't know.
I mean, meeting the scores, I've had a really strong day.
Yeah, I've not had a great day in FPL.
We told Tate saying that Vista Blankton, Chilwell and Silva.
I just had a triple up on Chelsea, which doesn't work when they lose 1-0 to Forest. I had a Kanji, who didn't keep a clean sheet. I had Udogie, who didn't keep a clean sheet, or Udogie, but he did get an assist.
He did.
But they also conceded twice, which isn't ideal. I had... What else have I got? Foden, only an assist. Like, really more from him.
I had Foden assist, Madison goal.
Madison goal was useful. I think he's on for a bonus.
That and Buemo goal was massive for me in the 93rd minute.
I've still got Saka and Martinelli. Sterling didn't do anything, as I said. And then Haaland captain means nothing to anyone.
I think after this game, I've only got Saka.
Praying for a Palace clean sheet and Sam Johnson make a couple of saves. Cheeky pen save, wouldn't mind.
Is it Liverpool in 2014? Because it's James Milner and Adam Lallana coming onto the pitch.
Neither of those were playing for Liverpool in 2014.
Say 16?
We'll say 2017 to be on the safe side.
Okay, 2017 then. both of them have played for Liverpool at some point. Is it old
They
Liverpool?
have done.
And now when Ferguson comes off with standing ovation, someone's got an Irish flag in the crowd with a Brighton crest printed on it. He has put in a shift and a half. What a player. What a striker. It's high fives and hugs all round from on the bench. Jason Tyndall just stared at him like, what to kill him.
Milner joined 2015.
Lallana.
No, 2014 to be fair.
Sullivan quite close to 2014 or 2015.
Milner wasn't there yet.
Okay, so 2015 then. I was a year out. It's pretty decent ball knowledge.
So, yeah, not bad.
Oh.
Right, we've still got 9 minutes here. Ferguson's been brilliant though.
Honestly, magical footballer.
Superb.
I've
Kane saying my team looking good with most people playing tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we got one. But I know Watkins will score because Vista blanked and Watkins is...
I just need a Palace clean sheet so Johnston gets those points. And then Saka and Martinelli to do a number on Man United. But I'm worried Man United are going to win that.
Most
somehow.
random goal scorers ever. Like, I want to see... I don't really know.
Ericsson. No one's got Christian Eriksen.
I want to see Saka and Eriksen score because I've got Saka. For Liverpool and Villa, I want to see a Duran goal off the bench, I don't know, Ezri Konsa goal.
The thing is, I was
brilliant.
Brilliant from tackling Lamptey.
And Charles pulled his hamstring trying to tackle him. That ball wasn't
It can be so frustrating because I was Jackson poking a thing poking the shot home today away from being like another 13 points richer. Because Sterling, I think, was getting the assist for that. But I've been wrecked by my defence this year. Start with Centre Gabriel, both of whom didn't play. Now Botman's injured. I only have a Stupinian and a Luton defender who are fit. Brilliant, Gary. Yeah, my defence have cocked me the last 2 weeks because I had a Kanji, Gusto, Udogie in the defence this week who all conceded. Last week I had Saliba, Estupinian and Gusto. Gusto brought me 2 assists and 14 points.
I think everyone's had the same thing.
And a clean sheet, obviously.
Today, out of my 3 defenders, I had Chilwell and Silva who got 1 and 2. And then, Estupinian's 6 here would be massive. He can hold on to it.
I've also had Onana who brought me 9 points the first game week and then hasn't got anything since. That's why I started Johnson.
Very frustrated with Alphonse Areola last night because that should have been a clean sheet.
No, it shouldn't. They should have drawn 2-2. Should have had a minus point. You should feel lucky that
he should have made low saves.
Peach MML robbed you. Robbed Luton Town. Disgraceful referee.
7 minutes to go. Plus, you'd think it wouldn't add too much time on, wouldn't you? Long ball, looking for Gordon, won't find Gordon, sums up the Newcastle day. Nothing has gone right. Nothing has clicked. Nothing has worked. And the Toon would be very unhappy.
Yeah, 3 hat-tricks today, I see, in the Premier League.
Haaland, Ferguson, Son.
Yes.
Ball knowledge.
I've got Alisson. That's a great pick. Kane, I think, they're going to get a goal. Saliba. I benched him. Benched him this week. Might be a bit controversial, but Luis Diaz, I think that could be quite decent. He could get a contribution. Saka, Odegaard and Rashford playing tomorrow.
Risky. Rashford, I think risky.
Yeah.
I took out Odegaard for Maddison, and that seems.
I jumped on the Maddison Sterling hype train and got lucky and smashed it with Maddison and got unlucky with Sterling. I got 34 points off Haaland, 2 off João Pedro, 1 off Rodri, 1 off Chilwell, and 6 off Estupinian. Yeah, I'm on 57, I think now. Obviously, I think the average.
Get Rodri out. Say now, get Rodri out.
Yeah, he's not ever worth it in FPL.
No.
So the average is going to be very high. The average is 66. I'm on 60 with bonuses factored in.
But what average is that? What average? Whose average is that?
For my rank.
Mine's higher than yours. So oh dear, yeah, no.
That's the thing. It's so competitive FPL.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, so early, no one's.
But yeah, the biggest threats have been that other people have started as Stupinian. I didn't because I didn't think he'd keep a clean sheet. Other people have. I got rid of Mito this week. I didn't bring in Buemo when I could have.
Yeah, by the way, Milton from books. Stuart Atwell, who will be collecting a massive paycheck after this game, I believe that's the 7th yellow card of the game. Because Lamptey's come on and been booked. And then we've had Byrne, Shah, someone else. We had loads of people booked. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And there we go. Trippier's put the ball in. Can Newcastle get a consolation goal? Right with death. To ruin everyone's FPL points, he's got Brighton defenders. He's taking his time, Kieran Trippier. Technology put in Madison. Good decision.
Yeah, that's smart. Rodgers not very good in FPL.
Ball in from Trippier. Towards. It's kept alive. Good hands from Verbruggen.
Are you doing international games next week or not? I mean, predictions. We will be live for international matches. We haven't done predictions before. I think also that I don't really know when we would do them, and there's also a lot of different games to do, Daz. So we probably won't do any predictions. Yeah, there's so many Euro qualifiers. And to be honest...
And England have got...
We're not trying to predict Bosnia, Latvia.
Is the anniversary game, is it a friendly or is it...
Yeah, it's a friendly.
Ooh, we play Scotland for a giggle. Hope we play like a weekend side against them. Equally, let's not lose to Scotland.
66 average normally of FPL, 66 in the TCD. 66 around my rank, Gary. So I was looking on live FPL, which is really good for like planning out transfers and.
What's the actual average? Can you find that out somewhere? Oh no.
That'll come out once bonuses and all that. I feel like out for tonight.
So everyone, you have to wait until tonight after this game.
Bit of FPL advice: have Ortega get us back up because he's only 3.5 mil. I like to have a goalkeeper that I can actually play, so if I want to rotate, it works.
And I've got Ariana who's 4 and Pickford who's 4.5.
Is Ortega 3.5 mil?
And
I think anyone's. No, he's not. Ortega's 3.9.
Pascal Gross coming off to a standing ovation, and he's being replaced by a player I can't quite pin the name of, and they go by the name of...
Yeah, I wouldn't go... I wouldn't personally pick... Simon Adingra, very exciting player.
Yeah,
Simon Adingra, I don't really know.
Very good player.
I'm guessing it's Simon, he's Irish, not
Yeah.
French. But yeah, I would personally never go for a backup goalkeeper. There's 4 mil goalkeepers that do actually start.
Areola.
That's one.
Flecken.
There's another.
Verbruggen.
Well, I wouldn't risk that either.
Yeah.
Because who knows, still might start next week.
Or, yeah. Flicked on into the hands of Verbruggen.
Not Forster, Turner.
Yeah, Turner, 4 mil. He got big 6 points. A lot of people benched him today because they thought they could concede. Obviously, he didn't concede.
Yeah, Turner, you've then got... That's the only one at 4 mil.
Yeah.
And then at 4.5, Areola. He's up to 4.1 now. He's risen in price.
That's great. Money for me.
Exactly. Even like Robert Sanchez is 4.5 mil.
The other thing to do is just remember to save money, because if you can save money, you can then use that when you have a wild card. This is really good from Brighton. They want a penalty for
a free hit.
Or a free hit, yeah. So if you have $1 million in the bank, when you use a free hit or a wild card, you can really utilise that money.
Dahoud. And yeah, look out for things like when the prices are going to drop, so you can make the most of your money.
Yeah.
And make sure you don't have players dropping.
If you want to know, get in the Discord. The FPL bot tells you every time there's an injury.
It tells you once the price drop. Doesn't tell you before the prices drop though. But there's loads of accounts.
You join the Discord. FPL bot will tell you when the injuries are, whose price is dropping and rising, all the FPL news you need to know.
Would have had Mads Anderson in your team this week from Luton Town, Vic. He's got
I don't think anyone had him. 0.6% of the game had him.
Well, big 8 points you would have wanted him. He's 4 mil.
7 minutes. What's the point?
7 additional minutes for a game that's 3-0.
Because that just means that they're risking my stupid clean sheet.
Maybe that's what they want. So it seems been a wake-up call for Newcastle. Need to set the ship straight soon, says Gary.
Bang on, Gary. Bang on.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a TFC stream about Gary Reisman being bang on right, would it? Has Gary been wrong?
Definitely.
The nice Gary.
Kane says, my team for next week is Diaz, Saka, Odegaard, Madison, Rashford for midfield, with Pedro and Hahn front two. And Allison is stupid and Sleeper and Chilwell for defence. Yeah, at the moment, I think I'll probably want to make a transfer or two, but I have...
we've got the internationals, haven't we?
Of course. So you want to wait till after the internationals. But I've got a Chelsea triple against Bournemouth, which you think was a guaranteed points, but maybe not. I'm benching Akanji at the moment against West Ham, which feels mental.
Yeah.
But I've got Saliba, I've got Gusto, I've got Udogie against Sheffield United, Bournemouth and Everton. I don't know. I feel like I'm fine there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I feel like I can bench Akanji, and if Gusto doesn't play, if James is back, then I'll be able to... Then Akanji will get subbed in there. And Stupid Angel Pedro, I'm going to look to try and move them on soon. I might keep a Stupid Angel, I can rotate him in and out. No, I'm okay with benching him, but I feel like I can get a striker other than João Pedro who's going to bring me some points. But yeah, I might roll the transfer this week because I'm looking quite good.
Yeah.
I've got a strong starting 11. Ball in behind for Callum Wilson. Good touch. Takes a pass Van Pecker and he's scored. He's wiped the clean sheet for a Stupid and all the Brighton players. That's also a minus point if you've got Mitoma. He's not a minus one, but he's lost a point. That clean sheet is Brighton 1, Newcastle 3. Brighton 3, Newcastle 1.
Annoying.
Won't matter much in the grand scheme of things, but for FPL, that is good.
Because now my defence is looking at 2 points, 2 points, and 1 point. Oh, that has ruined me.
Welcome to the club.
Oh, I hate FPL. What is Van Halen? Stop him. That's frustrating from a Brighton point of view. But Brugman's annoyed as well. He's probably got himself and a stupid man in FPL. And if they hadn't added on 5 minutes, or are they checking something? No, they're not. With 5 minutes, they shouldn't have added on the minutes. They should have called the game there. Farcical.
Hmm.
Oh, I am fuming. I'm absolutely livid.
Yeah, you sound it.
I am. Hang on to a suit, Jan. Wow.
Can find better strikers than João Pedro at his price range. Yeah, I think I will keep a Stupid man. I won't start him against United though. I'm thinking of a Julian Alvarez potentially if he keeps playing. The problem is I've got 3 City players, so I'd have to think about dropping a Kanji, but I want to take him out soon anyway because I don't like Pep Roulette. It scares me. But I'm okay with Foden and I'm okay with Haaland.
Because Foden proved against Sheffield United, even if he doesn't start, he can come on and do something.
Exactly, and I can always just... I'll have options on my bench to come on. Like, I'll have a 5th midfielder. I'm going to have 5 good midfielders. I hope to have 3 good strikers.
I mean, Newcastle's on a free kick here. If they're to score, what will happen in the next 3 minutes?
Chaos.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, I might look at other strikers. I was considering Visser, but he's had a really poor 2 games now, so I probably won't go for
I'm
him.
frustrated at that.
Evan Ferguson's done a lot to impress me tonight,
Gamble.
but I'm not looking at Brighton players. Really, right? I don't like their fixtures at all. Can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
Isak's not done anything.
Wilson
No.
doesn't start. Adingra brought down by Jamal Lascelles.
And there's that rotation risk. I don't want Isak because he could be rotated. Do I gamble on Beto at Everton?
Another yellow card.
He didn't even score against Sheffield United.
Referee's making money.
Well, the cheap forwards are there.
But how many yellow cards are we on now?
We are on.
8. I think we're looking at 8.
I think it's 8.
Dahoud's just gone into the book, so it isn't on there. Just add on Dahoud.
7.
With Dahoud or without Dahoud?
With Dahoud.
Oh,
Gordon Shah, Target Burn, Lamptey, Milner, Dahoud.
that's a lot. It's also a lot of money for Stuart Atwell and his little piggy bank. He's definitely got a piggy bank.
Oh, 100%.
It is an actual piggy. It's not one of those that's like it's a piggy bank, but it's actually like a sculpture or something.
So it's a real pick.
Yeah, isn't it? No, it's just a piggy bank. He hasn't got an actual pig, but he just...
Stuffed with money.
Oh, no. But he definitely...
Also got 1.4 mil in the bank, Gary, so I could
Good.
go up to a
Thought that
6.9
was
mil.
Gary saying that he had 1.4 million in the bank.
Minted. Do you want to invest? So I could look...
He's rich.
I could look at anyone below Hoyland. Lukaku. Awani, Solanke.
How's Lukaku still on there?
Antonio. He's on there with a red mark. Because obviously people may have him.
So they can't take him off the game.
0.5% of the game have him.
They made their teams and didn't check them. All their idiots.
No, just it's someone who like
Me too,
wanted their nan to make a team, so made them make a team they liked the name Lukaku. And then
Or if you'd like say you got one with your skull.
by the way, we don't really need to play the match, do we? Ferguson.
Lovely. Ferguson, yeah. What do you say? Ferguson. Everyone says Ferguson.
Great job.
Ferguson, magical.
Just look at other strikers. I don't really know. There's no one consistent, man. That's the problem. Like Antonio. Maybe Awaniyi. Maybe try and save. I mean, Alvarez is the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I totally forgot Lamp even existed.
Oh, it's on the ball back. Okay, heart of the pitch. Can he pick up a pass? He does. Mitoma! It's gone for his legs to the back post. That was a chance for a big goal.
I don't like FPL anymore.
Caden says, you need to get to a Watford game at the Vic. I'm never going to a Watford game.
I'd rather put pins in my eyes.
If you had 1 million, if you had £1 million, I'm guessing, this is what Caden was saying, what would you do with the channel? Ooh. I think I'd probably invest in a studio in London, because I think it'd be so much easier to be able to get guests and like celebrity interviews and stuff like that if I've got a studio which is a lot more suited to podcasts.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a separate thing for podcasts and for live shows. That would be ideal. And then, I mean, that was not going to be anywhere near $1 million, so I've still had loads of money to just burn. So I'd probably just get like a statue of me outside.
By yacht.
I could build my own studio and then put a statue of me outside.
Boy, what's Sean Longstaff doing?
Having a war of words with having a lie.
He just keeps running at him. And just keeps running, like, bumping into him angrily.
Maybe he's into him.
Maybe.
He's trying to
We're nearly at the 98th minute. The game should be done any minute now.
Yeah. And there we go. I know. He's just hugging the goalkeeper. There we go. Brighton 3, Newcastle 1. An emphatic win for the Seagulls as Newcastle really struggled to get going once again in this campaign. Brighton have looked sublime, and that was no different today as they, steamrolled the Magpies. It's the Battle of the Birds, and it's the Seagulls who come out on top. That's everything for today. We're back tomorrow. Yeah. Arsenal versus Manchester United should be a really exciting match. If you need something to watch in the meantime, we recorded a great episode of the podcast on Wednesday. We talked about Premier League refereeing. We also did Premier predictions. If you haven't watched that and saw all our predictions, go watch that. That's everything for today, though. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.